https://twitter.com/Septimonths. Don't put that in. I'll get in trouble. So that's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close. Should I? Oh, should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. Like, I have to hold my keyboard like the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis and I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. Like this guy right here, he's got his keyboard like off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down to the far end who has his keyboard all the way at like a horizontal.
That's really cool.
They're gonna be at that table right over there.
Public information?
Oh, I don't know. But this isn't live, so it doesn't matter.
It's not live, but like you and I know.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not gonna tweet it.
Awesome. What game do you play?
Smash Bros.
Who do you play? Is it embarrassing? Is it like Villager?
Yeah.
Is it Villager? Am I spot on? Oh my god. Is it the Ice Climbers?
No.
Is it Game & Watch?
No.
Is it Pichu?
No.
Is it Wario?
No.
I can keep going. I think I can name every character in the game. Is it, did I say the Ice Climbers already?
Yeah, you said them.
Is it them? Is it them a second time?
No.
Okay, alright. Oh, is it one of the Links?
Yes, it is.
Is it Toon Link?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty embarrassing. That is rough. Who do you play?
I'll give you $20 if you guess correctly right now.
First try?
First try.
Give me a single hint.
It's an obscure character.
Obscure character.
Not played very often.
Is it Wii Fit Trainer?
Oh my god! Oh my.
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit? No. Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and you told me already. Oh, Toon Link. Yep. Where's my main support at? Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give all your strategies. It's over under.
What do you mean over under?
Like, do we think we're gonna podium? Do we think we're gonna come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place.
Certainly not last.
What about like 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place? That's where things get dicey?
That's very doable.
Okay.
1st place? That's very doable.
1st place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my god. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my god. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q-sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never played Smash 4?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody's gonna hold that against you. Now, who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Come on, the LEDs, it looks just like Samus.
Huh?
Do you disagree?
I guess I can see
The
it.
Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow. I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazuya.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistics thing.
Yeah.
It's maybe.
This is a death match. I think they're all in the same one. They're all on Icebox. Are they all in the same death match? Maybe. Who knows? I feel like none of them can hear me. I want to like approach somebody, but no one can hear. They all have both their headphones on.
What's up?
How do we think we're doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's your KD?
We're looking at 10 and 6 right now.
Oh, hey, that's 3rd, dude. That's better than I expected. Who's bottom frag right now? I want to go talk to them. Ian? Hey, how do you think we're doing so far?
You know, it could be better.
Could be better? You're one of those rough days?
Well, you know.
Let's go find more people to harass.
Yeah.
Where's Boise State? Who's your favorite to play?
Oh, right now it's got to be either Chamber or Breach.
What country is Cypher from?
Oh, dude. It's Moroccan, right?
It is Morocco. Oh my god, I don't think anyone is gonna get that. Oh, you're good. You're good. All right, see you later. Let's go harass Boise State more. Who is this? What school is this? Boise?
This is Boise.
Oh man, that's okay. Boise's still got really good odds. A Large Bagel, one of their tank players, Nerdy Bird, they're off tank. Both of them not here. A little bit scary, if we're being honest. Getting warmed up, getting ready to cast some players. No, okay, not cast, interview. Change your mindset, change your mindset.
Words.
No, but last words until we come back.
Oh, okay.
Because we're leaving.
Enjoy.
Oh, that was good, that was good. Anything from you?
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's gonna
jumped into it. This corner judge is good for 1, 2, dip. He needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in.
Toy Boy is going to drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Running.
Hello everyone and welcome to the CECC West Regional Qualifier. My name is Soy, alongside me is Kilo Miles, and we are getting ready for Championship Sunday here at the Boise State LAN. It's going to be so much fun. This is Super Smash Brothers, and this is going to be such a fun bracket to play through today, Miles.
Yep, 4 teams remain, 2 sets of semifinals leading up into the grands. We're going to be following 1 set of semifinals to start out. It's going to be Boise State, the host of this whole event, taking on Sacramento State in a rematch to see who is going to the grand finals. And to start off, let's take a little look-see at the roster for Boise State.
This Boise State roster was really impressive coming into the day. I mean, they got us to such a hot start the way they shut down George Fox in the opening round. But you see these players, Leah Dog seasoned, Melfor, who's not on our screen, was a fantastic, notable player in their run through that pool play. And Gunslinger as well was a fantastic asset to this team in their run into the 3rd overall seeding of this bracket.
And then looking over to the side of Sacramento State, they've got quite a killer roster. A couple players who are standouts, though. Honestly, Jamar and Sora are who you've got to keep your eyes on. Once we take a look over at that Sacramento State roster, they're very threatening, and a lot of people know how to deal with them. A lot of people make plans. The thing I have my eye on is Boise, hyped up in their interview that they are preppers. They understand. So how are you going to get it ready for Schleim, Jamar, Sora, and Rito? Jamar on that Luigi, terrifying combo fiend. Sora on the Sora. Also has a pocket Rob that the Rob is what Sora was known for. And then the fact that Sora's Sora is just as deadly as the Rob. Unbelievable development. I'm excited to see how these teams stack up against each other. All this prep time against this beast who took our current #1 seed to the very brink, the final stock when Sacramento State played against UC Riverside. On the other side of the bracket, we're not going to get to see it. UC Riverside is going to be taking on Weber State. So we'll keep you updated on how that match goes. But for now, we're going to be focusing on this match, Boise State versus Sacramento State.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun to see. Like you mentioned, Boise State, a team that does their homework. They feel like they've got a game plan for everybody. But Sacramento State, on the flip side, this is a squad that they know how to get the job done. I think the biggest thing about their players in particular, they are adaptive. They come in with a game plan, and then they change that game plan, make it malleable enough to be flexible. And something doesn't work out, they can turn that switch on a dime and change up their game style. As we get ready for game #1 here, it's going to be Sora on the Sora going up against Melfor's Banjo and Kazooie.
All right, so this is fascinating to me. How are you going to combo this character? Because Sora is very floaty and is kind of threatening to combo if you don't have completely guaranteed combos. Additionally, a lot of setups you've got to watch out for. If Sora catches you in the air, you really don't want to do this. The thing is, Sora doesn't have great vertical burst. Like, his jump is slow. It's floaty. It's kind of linear instead of just exponentially shooting up. So by staying up in the air and kind of laying down a carpet bombing of attacks, you can see Melfor can kind of stay out of Sora's threat range. But you've got to respect that thunder, is the thing.
It feels like Sora, when they play, they've got 2 very strong gears. One is just press the attack, go in, get that damage and space well with that Keyblade. On the flip side, it feels like Sora also can opt to play that more passive game style, play around those projectiles, just cycle through them continually and chip away at stocks. And right now, projectiles the name of the game so far here, as Melfor has taken 123, but they find their one opening off the grenade. Forward air nearly takes a stock. Oh my goodness, the timing of that forward smash was nearly perfect. Dash attack just barely going to beat out a second one. First Wonder Wing used, but the up air is just going to do the trick. Melfor doesn't get the chance to survive, and Sora takes down stock #1.
The ratio is not shifting in favor of Melfor. For every 2 hits or 2% that Melfor is getting, Sora is getting 4. And that means we're seeing just double damage right here. This strategy of staying in the air is going in Sora's way, especially when Sora has 2 very strong up kill options. You can kill them with the up air, yes, or the up B. Both are strong kill options off the top, so Melfor is getting hit a lot more than they would really like. Meanwhile, if Melfor wants to confirm a kill, they're going to probably have to go down to the ground. Maybe they can pop Sora up into a Wonder Wing with the grenade, but that relies on Sora getting hit by the grenade in the first place.
There's that nade, but again, being underneath the platform means that Sora can try and avoid that down B from Banjo and Kazooie in the first place. Up smash used, not going to be able to find the mark quite yet, can't scoop. But the follow-up there, good drag down into the up smash, but still not enough to kill quite yet. Melfor's taken a lot of percent though and is now being lapped. And the follow-up into the up air is just too clean. Sora 3-1 in the stock count right now.
Melfor got 20% in that last stock. They hit Sora for 20%. They hit Sora for 80% in the first stock. That's not good. I'm not going to mince words. You need to find ways to mitigate this because numbers alone, they got outplayed in that last stock. They've got to at very least finish off this one and find ways to rack up that early percent because you can see Sora's not having that much trouble. Finally catch them with the forward smash. Now, looking like maybe a little more of a chance. Goes back to the aerial strategy, but drops down with the Wonder Wing and gets the parry as well. Melfor is turning up the pace right now.
Melfor with stage control, got a couple of parries in there, but still gets frozen. And the chase down too. Sora starting to read some of these defensive options. They're going to find the up tilt as well. Now, how does Melfor land? They air dodge through the platform at the last minute. They're going to be able to make it back to the stage. Melfor was kind of known for getting these neutral B combos, just laddering you up, but still hasn't had the opportunity to do so here. Almost reads the unfreeze there, but still able to survive. 135 though. Gotta feel like this stock might be working on borrowed time. 4 out of 5 Wonder Wings used. Another nade gonna land. Sora's only at 54% here. Melfor's gonna have to really put in the work to get this back within striking distance. But speaking of striking distance, Sora knows theirs well and gets the forward smash follow-up to take down Melfor.
Yeah, that right there was... I like the idea that Melfor was going for, but immediately after that first stock, it became evident that Melfor's game plan of staying up high above Sora and pressuring with those gravity-affected projectiles was not going to go in their favor. Between the Thunder able to harass them when they've used their resources up there, and the fact that Sora can kill off the top at around 130 fairly easily, that means that Melfor had to switch up their strategy in the middle of that set. Sora, meanwhile, didn't really seem like they had to. Either they didn't switch up their strategy or it flowed so seamlessly that I barely even noticed because Sora just patrolled the ground left and right, followed Melfor around, and when Melfor went into a landing, Sora wouldn't overextend, would use that disjointed nair to just set up for kill moves. We saw nair, nair, up smash. We saw nair, forward smash. We just saw nair, and a nair, and a nair. We saw that once. It can be more powerful than that, but regardless, the fact that Melfor had so much trouble existing on the ground, was harassed every time they went in the air, made it so that even when the neutral interactions were going Melfor's way, they just weren't getting a lot from it.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, credit where credit's due to Sora's spacing in that set, right? The fact that they never got into the threat range for Melfor. They continued to, use those projectiles and use that sword, that disjoint, to maintain their own space while keeping or forcing Melfor into the air time and time again, through their spacing. So very well done to Sora in that opening set. They hold 2 stocks headed into round number 2 here. It is worth noting that this is a crew battle with 4 players each rather than the traditional 3, and it is a best of 3, so it's no longer the best of 1s that we saw in pool play. Teams will have that second opportunity to try and run things back, but still, big game here between these two. Last time these two met, it was a very different start. I believe Sora and Melfor were more left to be the anchors of these teams rather than the starting batters for both of these lineups. And it was still very close. In that pool play game, it was a 3-stock victory for the side of Sacramento State, I believe. So Sacramento State coming in with a little bit of an edge here, and once again kind of holding the lead here via 2 stocks. But Boise State now get that chance to counterpick here, and we wait to see which player they opt to send in.
Yeah, taking a look at who they've got, Gunslinger, Leodog, I feel like the answer might be Seasoned Curlies. I think I said that the last time these two teams played too. Palutena. Who's this newcomer coming to the stage? I genuinely don't know. Not a character we've seen before from any of the Boise State roster. Is it a new player? Is it someone running a new character? Either way, I feel like Palutena has the disjoint to contest Sora in the air, has the juggle to punish Sora when he goes high, and has the ranged harassment. It's going to be Gunslinger, a jack of all trades. We saw playing the Roy. We saw playing another character too, but the Palu is new.
Roy and Cloud yesterday, like you mentioned, and the Palutena new as of today. But still, Sora is the one in control right now. The way they are controlling center stage and not allowing Gunslinger in. Gunslinger takes a quick 53% here. And every stock so critical in a matchup like this. Gunslinger's going to have to really put in the work now that they're at a percent disadvantage. Nair's not going to be able to land quite yet. A couple of side Bs in. Sora also, interestingly, unless they land that first side B, really only uses 2 to try and approach, and then will kind of space themselves to be able to act out of it. And Gunslinger has not really had the opportunity to punish that move as this kind of game goes on. Something to kind of look forward to seeing. But right now, Gunslinger, in a world of hurt, they're at 106 already.
All right, I'm liking this so far. In the beginning stages of that, it was a little bit telegraphed when Gunslinger was going to go for a projectile. Now they're incorporating them a little more smoothly into their retreats, into their landings, and that's making it a little more difficult for Sora to dodge them. As you can see now, because of that seamlessness, Gunslinger was able to rack up a little more percent, but even so, at this present time, Sora has them caught at the ledge, scoops them up with that up B. That teleport's going to do you no good, and Gunslinger is still in the lead, but at a deficit for Boise State.
Gets the down tilt. Another dash attack used here. Breaking through that space is Sora. And Sora just kind of content with their gameplay. And once again, they get first hit of side B in the follow-ups. Sora just doing a fantastic job right now of reading the defensive movement. Once the player gets hit, they've got an instant follow-up. That side B automatically tracks you down. But even here, just every conversion Sora gets is worth a solid 2-3 hits at least. And Gunslinger right now is getting lapped in percent. 108 right now on their second stock. They go for the grab off the follow-up. I love the idea, but it's not enough for Tilt to knock Sora off stage. But Gunslinger is just going to be content using Explosive Flames underneath. Should still be able to recover here, but no, the lingering hitbox catches them before they snap to the ledge. Now they got to find a way through. Great timing on that Explosive Flame to get around it. Sora along the ledge once more. They'll be able to make it back to center stage, and Gunslinger just opts to back away.
They want to play this range game as best they can, but even so, they managed to catch Sora on the way back down to the ledge. Sora just wanted to refresh those resources, so Gunslinger does get another stock off the board. But even so, you got to remember, this is still a deficit. Sora is the opener for Sac State. Now, gets caught by the up air, rising up air. And Gunslinger not able to land this time. Sora going to claim that stock, and it's an even game here.
One stock apiece. Big stock here for Gunslinger. You got to feel like to keep this one close, he's got to find a way to take down Sora, but Sora has been so clean. The juggle game of this Sora player has just been so strong. And now, a Nair in, no follow-up, can't get the forward air. This Gunslinger, these low percent interactions have all really gone Sora's way so far. Thunder, not going to be able to land. The kind of backwards hit a Nair, they're connecting, but Sora not ready for it, so they can't get the follow-up. And right now, just feels like either player here is looking for that one strong opening, but Sora is the one finding the kind of chip damage here on Gunslinger.
Yeah, able to use that tool to keep Gunslinger pinned at the ledge, but B-reverse in the wrong direction, the only opening that Gunslinger needed, but they get too greedy. Goes for a fully charged forward smash. Are you kidding me, Gunslinger? Now Sora's back in the game, and they are swinging, forcing Gunslinger off the stage. They recover back on, but being caught by that explosive flame means there's an opportunity. Tries to jump and air dodge, but even that invulnerability is not enough, Soy, as Sora does end up cleaning up that stock and continues their run through the Boise State roster.
Sora looking strong in this one, and I feel like Sora, I'm going to go to a comparison you made the other day about how Cloud is just kind of a moving wall when they play of aerials. Sora felt like they were the moving wall, just continually using projectiles to slowly pinch in on Gunslinger's positioning and slowly take away stage control. Gunslinger was kept to the outskirts of the stage for what felt like 75% of this game. They just could not find a way to get combos online, get stage control. They do manage to take a stock off of Sora here, but it took how many explosive flame hits for them to do so? They were able to contest from range a little bit, but when it came down to the boxing game of actually, landing combos and landing strong hits, Gunslinger was maybe a little bit too gung-ho about it, and Sora was able to capitalize.
Certainly were, and I feel like a major component right there was catching Gunslinger in panic situations, specifically off of that freeze. Gunslinger twice lost a stock to getting caught in that freeze near the ledge and then getting caught mashing out of it into something. An aerial, an air dodge. Regardless, the up B, that lingering hitbox covers all. So when you're at that high of a percent getting scooped up by that up B, the patience from Sora to time their up B just as Gunslinger pops out of it. Doesn't need to be exact, because again, lingering hitbox, but just enough to catch them on that jump out of there. The solution to that, you need to either have a godlike mash. We saw that the other day with Saru. Oh my god. But you've got to delay. You've got to have a very intentional exit from that freeze. And that's tough to do, but people can do it. You can understand the percent range. For example, in other games, think Yoshi Egglay. What you can do is know that when you rotate your stick a quarter circle 3 times, I think it's 2 times, the next move you make will pop out of the egg and do that. So you can do that to control exactly what you do when you pop out of the freeze. Now, the freeze is percent based, so it's harder. I know. But having intention about what you do as soon as you pop out of that freeze is crucial for getting rid of those almost true but not quite true setups.
And I think the other part of it that makes it so difficult is that we saw from Sora yesterday, their timing is impeccable. And we saw how many parries from them. Their defensive play was also very strong as the pool play went on yesterday. And, the fact that they are so on par, on key with their timing of, okay, they're going to be falling out of this percent window, or, they're going to be falling out of this freeze now, and knowing instantly where to be and what to follow up with. It is just great character recognition and great recognition of, what their character is able to accomplish, what their character's limits and advantages. So Sora playing very strong right now, still holding on to the opening stock here. 2 members left of Boise State in this opening crew battle. That's best of 3. And when we look at Boise State's roster, the 2 players that we saw that have not been used yet, that were really the mainstays yesterday, Leodog and Seasoned, and both of them have been in that anchor role before. But when you look at the characters that they've played, Seasoned on the Ken, Leodog on the King Dedede, feels like there's not quite an easy answer here. You mentioned the Ken already, but I feel like Seasoned might be suited up for that anchor role once again.
Yeah, I would agree with you right here. The issue is finding someone who won't just get obliterated by Sora. And I'm trying to think of what traits would fit that ideal. Now, we've seen Leodog survive forever and ever, but I feel like the confirms just happen a little too quickly there. Especially, Dedede's strength of mixing up their landing is not going to be quite as effective for Sora, who has those anti-airs, whether it be the up tilt, which lingers, up smash, which kills, up air, which kills, or that up B, which scoops you up and kills. So, I feel like, tentatively, Seasoned Curlies might still be the pick, but that's just on paper. And honestly, maybe you just go for Leodog to get a mix-up. Because not only has Sora played against Seasoned Curlies before, but it just didn't work out the way I would have hoped it would. Even though they do have that burst option of that Shoryuken to finish them off, it just doesn't always go their way. I'm curious to see, because I feel, I empathize right now with Boise State. they are up against a wall, a moving wall, and it is not that easy to get up and around it.
It's going to be interesting to see where Boise State goes. We could also see a player like Diggle and King, I believe is how you pronounce that tag, who are listed on the roster, but we didn't really get to see yesterday. That could also be just a complete curveball thrown into the mix here. Because again, this is a Boise State team that they do their homework. They study up and they've got a game plan going into each of these crew battles. So we'll have to see what the answer is now that their back is kind of against the wall, having 2 players down already and still 1 stock remaining on one of the key members of this Sacramento State roster, because Sora was just instrumental in the victories for Sacramento State yesterday. And then waiting in the wings, you've got plenty of talented players for the side of the Hornets. You've still got Jamar, that Luigi that looked fantastic, especially closing out that series against Weber State yesterday. You've got Rito, who was able to take down numerous stocks off of Boise State, I believe, the last time they met. And then Schleim, who we thought coming into this tournament would be kind of a wild card going with Inkling and a couple other characters, but it's been the Pit that they've been rocking recently that has been very good at shutting down a lot of key players here in this matchup.
I really like the Pit. I liked it especially against... Now, this isn't exactly like a meta matchup that you need to have a counter for this character. But the way Schleim played against DDD the other day, it was a thing of beauty, Soy. The fact that they were able to use their fast, controllable arrows to just harass DDD every time they wanted to throw out a Gordo, and then get aggressive off stage with those lingering hitboxes, I really like to see it. I like a good Pit player, and I'm not just saying that because Zach Ray. I'm not having a Twitter moment right now. Zach Ray is talented and all, but I like seeing all the versatile styles of Pit. But as a character that has a bunch of almost true things, a lot of 50-50s, a lot of fast options that can be chained together. They don't always all work together, but you have to adapt. You get so many varieties of players, so many varieties of play style that come with that character, and it's always very nice. As opposed to some characters who it's not so much Luigi anymore, but Luigi in the early game of the meta, you played Luigi in one way. You did the thing. You did the funny thing. It worked. It worked really well. Why would you do anything different? But as the metagame evolves, there is more of an emphasis on picking one of your traits, one of your stats, and just max leveling that. Do you have amazing movement? Bam, there you go. You can trip up other people who are not used to a character moving like you can. And even if your combo game isn't on point, your movement makes up for that. There's just, I don't know. I really appreciate all of these different ideas that come, all these different play styles. And yeah, I'm trying to right now, you have any standout players from the teams remaining that you have your eye on?
I think one of the X factors coming into today was going to be Seasoned for the side of Boise State. I think he's a player that on a Ken, when I think of those Street Fighter fighting game characters, I think of how explosive they can be, where it feels like they only need 1, maybe 2 openings to all of a sudden just eviscerate your stock. But Seasoned, I feel like, is very passive about how they go about it. It feels like they are very tentative to pull that trigger on that kill move. And we saw, coming into this kind of pool stage, or coming into the pools yesterday, that Seasoned was honestly pretty good about tracking down defensive movement. They were getting some solid reads, especially in particular against George Fox, one of our 5 participants in the pool play, who just barely missed out on that on this bracket challenge. But Seasoned was very good at reading defensive options, and yet never pulled the trigger on those big kill moves, on getting that next solid hit in. And I feel like if Seasoned is a little bit more trigger happy with those decisions, they could be able to potentially sneak out some early stocks against some of these other players. And if that is the case, all of a sudden that stock in Boise State starts to rise, because That was the big thing for Boise State. A lot of their wins were very, very close. The only solid win that they had was really against that George Fox team that they played in the opening day. From there on out, it was very much so down to the wire, last player, but them trying to work from behind, trying to mount comebacks. So if Seasoned, I think, can come online and be that explosive player, I think he has a very good chance to be that type of MVP caliber that could push this team to the next level. But they're going to have to come up with something here against Sacramento State.
I agree. I feel like definitely, like, a great player once said on Twitter, being a top player is all about learning 30 different ways to cheese your opponent's stock at anywhere between 15 and 60%, and just spamming them until one of them works. I want to see more of that. I want to see you taking stocks at 30% that you have no right to get. Like, you know as well as I do, so when you get those early stocks, it's huge, you know?
We saw who was it? The DDD
It was
yesterday. Beta from Weber
Beta.
State. He got the up B spike at 15 or something like that. Like,
and then,
the ability to go for that is absolutely absurd. But the confidence.
It was Cole. Do you remember Cole on the
Cole.
DK?
Yes. Yes.
Dash attack forward air just eliminated someone right out the bat. Just for a little recap, in case you weren't there, opened up the game. It was looking strong. They shot one laser. They were against the Falco. Cole did dash attack into forward air and ended that stock immediately.
It was.
We need to see that. Every character has those, Soy. Every single character has those options. You just need to find them. Some have them more than others. That's what I think makes a true top tier character. Like, that's why Byleth is scary. Byleth isn't scary because of neutral game. You beat Byleth in neutral game. Byleth is scary because sometimes you just die out of nowhere and you feel like there's nothing you can do. And if we're talking about characters that can in fact randomly kill you, Sephiroth may just be one of them, especially against a light floaty like Sora.
And I believe this is Seasoned. Yep, Seasoned Curly stepping in on the Sephiroth this time around. He went exclusively Ken yesterday, but we did mention a couple times that he had that pocket Sephiroth. He just never opted to pull it out. Now, here in the opening set against Sacramento State, with Boise State trailing here, looking to try and take down this last stock of Sora, and the fact that, I mean, Sephiroth's sword is just longer, it might make the difference here in a matchup like this. That being said, though, Sora, again, kind of winning this early game and giving themselves the percent lead here. Counter, not going to be able to land. Not enough distance on that move to catch out Sora once more. The up B drift, able to catch the jump away from Seasoned Curlies once again. Now Seasoned Curlies up to 91% here on their first stock, and Sora's barely been scratched. They're only at 18.
It may be a little bit tricky, but in the low, there's that down air shenanigans I told you about, the fact that Sora can do this. In the mid-range, Sephiroth wins, but in the close range and long range, Sora has the edge. And there's that mash, and Sora is so patient, so poised, and as long as Seasoned Curly waits, they cannot wait long enough. There's my own advice coming back to bite him. I'm sorry about that, Season, but here's the thing.
Oh no, I had a hunch the second that side B went in towards the stage. I went, I don't know if he's got enough distance to make it back on that drift, and lo and behold, gets pineappled in the dying moments. He takes his stock, so one off of Seasoned Curlies, but still, you felt like Sora had such momentum in that battle.
I am not one to make fun of someone for SDs. People have called me the Picasso of SDs. I find new ways that no one has ever thought of to throw myself off the stage. However, I am fairly certain that this is the second time on Sora's last stock that we have seen Sora take a stock and immediately side B off the stage and die. So all I have to say is nice. Because it only ever happens when Sora has already taken like 6 stocks. So like, you know what? It's like passing the ball. It's like it's throwing in the towel, giving someone else a chance. So Sora's down for the count. Who's gonna step into the ring next? That's the question. Obviously, I feel like Jamar is someone everyone already knows about, could definitely do it. But the last time we saw such a huge lead, we didn't just immediately see Jamar coming out from Sac State. I would not be surprised to see Rito come out again. That's who came out as the second pick in the previous time, and I would not be opposed to seeing that again.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, looking at the characters and names that we saw yesterday. obviously J-Moore, like you mentioned, typically I think they'd hold him as the anchor, as that fourth and final player, which leaves Rito and Schleim as that, second and third man in. And when it comes to those types of players, the characters that they've been rocking, Pitt into Sephiroth, from my understanding, is not easy for Pitt at all. And so Rito feels like the solid selection here, especially on the Bowser, right? That can be that tankier character that can potentially survive against some of these strong hits that Sephiroth brings to the table. Because Sephiroth, too, a very light character and a big hitbox for Bowser to potentially exploit.
There is one execution test I would love to see. You can kind of go skeet shooting as Pitt against characters that have long startup on the recovery, like Sephiroth. If you can catch Sephiroth without a double jump, he has to kind of charge it up, at least a little bit. Even with the base charge of his up B, you still see a little bit of startup. That's enough time to shoot an arrow of light out, and another arrow, and another arrow, and another arrow. Pitt Gimps are perhaps the slowest stock takes there are, but it is very much a win condition. It's like those, like, so I've been playing a lot of chess lately. It's like those 80 move end games where you are technically winning, you just have to do the right move 80 times in a row, and they're all slow and minute, and one slip up can mean you have to start all over again. However, that is something that Pitt very realistically could do, but at the same time, I feel like saying that, I'm like one of those people who defend their mid-tier on Twitter, because they're like, well, technically, if you do everything right 80 times in a row, you win the matchup. So, is Rob really losing?
Yeah, it's like, I fully understand it. We are going to see a different character that we have not really seen yet throughout today. So the villager
Schleim
making an appearance, and Schleim. We mentioned this, again yesterday, that Schleim had a couple different characters coming in, but we didn't see the villager, and now seeing Schleim step in on this villager that was the tried and true of seasons past. Curious to see how they do here against seasoned Sephiroth.
Yeah, Schleim starting out here. This is the character I know Schleim plays a lot in in-person tournaments. I'm curious to see how it translates here as... Oh, they try to catch that jump right there. It's very close to the Sephiroth, but again, this is a situation where I can't say for certain who wins that close game boxing range. I think it might be Sephiroth, but I feel like in this grounded style that Seasoned is playing around these tilts, it's just a clear advantage for Seasoned.
Yeah, I mean, the tilt covers so much range that Schleim does not really have a safe place to go after using his, distance on those forward airs and back airs. It's pretty easy for Season to get around with the ground speed that they have, but I do think Villager does have some quick options to potentially, get up close and do a lot of damage with. But they've got to get to that point in the first place here. They've set up the trap around the ledge. Love the counter there just to be safe, just to make sure that tree doesn't get chopped down on top of them on that situation. Downer's not going to be able to land from Schleim. They're at 102 right now, but they are slowly chipping away. But as I say that, a down smash fights through. And now that the wing is out, those smash attacks are going to have that little bit of armor as well. Chipped away at once more. Seasoned 78% here. Forward tilt not going to be able to land. Schleim breaking through once more. Air dodge in, but Schleim was retreating, so no chance at a punish there. Still at these high percentages, but you got to feel like that next strong hit should do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this kill condition for Seasoned Curlies. I mean, obviously just a well-spaced back air would do it, but how often have you seen Schleim just drift into the mid-range? Instead, it's Seasoned Curlies trying to get aggressive and getting caught by the tree's growth. They get a counter right there, but not on a strong hit at all. I don't even think they hit. They hit with a late hit of the counter, and now we can see the issue right here. Where does Seasoned find this kill? Can they find a grab, maybe? I'm struggling right now trying to imagine it. Oh, there's a hit with the counter, but it's not enough across the stage.
Schleim has just kind of, continued to chip away with projectile after projectile, and I think they're starting to get a read on Seasoned Curlies throwing out this counter that seems to be, the answer to all these projectiles. And Seasoned Curlies is not, not content with just taking the 1 or 2% from a forward air. They want to be able to counter things like the Lloyd Rocket to get this kill. They go for a charged up B, but it gets interrupted by the Lloyd Rocket once more. Schleim at 157. And I think Season Curly's right now is seeing red. They want this stock. They go for the dash attack, but the aerial comes out just in time to knock them away once more. Schleim continuing to survive here. 170, throws out the neutral B, low recovery, should be able to make it back. And they'll take a little bit more chip damage, but they will drop their stock for it. But still, it's a solid lead here for the side of Sacramento State. 110 on Season Curly's here. How much time do they have on this stock? Nair's not going to be landed. Forward tilt will. Another counter being thrown out, but these counters just keep getting interrupted.
Ooh, and at this point, I'm starting to see some cracks. Well, I'm starting to see some leaks at this point. The fact that Season Curly's isn't able to get the low percent either, the fact that Schleim is able to drift around their shield, knowing that there's not really going to be a serious threat. Like, you might get caught by a Nair out of shield, but if it's a retreating Nair, then that means Season isn't really going to get anything off of it. Pressure at the ledge right now. This is an opportunity for an early stock, but it gets caught out. Because, again, a lot of big, desperate options, and Season Curly's down for the count, Soy. This is an extending lead in the first round of the crew battle for Sac State.
And Schleim with a solid lead, like you mentioned, for the side of the Hornets. And Schleim in particular, I feel like the big deciding factor was the pace of that game. Season Curly's had to go from a very tense, close battle with Sora in the opener to a very passive chip damage type of game against Schleim's Villager. And that change of pace was really noteworthy because how much, I mean, that forward air from distance does not do a whole lot of damage. It only does like, what, 1-2% or something like that. But the fact that it just continually landed and that Season Curly's was then kind of practically conditioned into just countering any projectile sent his way meant that it gave Schleim the opportunity to get that read and all of a sudden go for things like the grab at the end of the game that you saw, and the back throw so strong, even from that percent and from that portion of the stage, you knew that was going to kill despite the lack of kill sparks.
100%. To paraphrase the great Edwin Budding, a lot of characters are good, not necessarily because they're good, but because they have the ability to make you do something incredibly stupid in an attempt to just get one hit in. That is what we saw a lot of right there, except when we saw Schleim get that one hit in, it usually wasn't just one hit. They would chain it into a tech chase, into a dash attack, into an edge guard, and they would get more percent off of that. Not necessarily comboing, but extending their advantage state. And at the end of the day, you're getting up percent regardless. Does it matter if they have a chance to escape your combos if they're not really getting that chance? Because again, they just want one little touch.
And that was the big question, I think, for Season Curly's coming in, right? Is because they play characters like Ken, like Sephiroth. Could they get to that portion of the game? Could they get to that portion where they could get that one combo? And the answer against Schleim was no. But now Leodog steps in as the final member for Boise State in this opening series against Sacramento State. They go to Final Destination as well. Schleim only dropped one stock here. So here we go. All three stocks are the last hope of the Broncos in this opening set, but Schleim certainly knows how to deal with this King DDD. And they're going to trade there, and Leodog forced off stage early.
All right, we saw a little bit of tunnel vision onto trying to pocket the Gordo in the early stages of it. I feel like Schleim has now course corrected. Now they have the Gordo, and Leodog hits it back for an instant kill at like 40%. That's what I'm talking about right there.
I've never seen it kill so early, and the neutral B2 is going to mean that Schleim can't just throw out those Lloyd rockets willy-nilly. He's got to be very careful that it doesn't get inhaled and sent right back at him. These forward airs also very damaging, and Leodog has the timing down on those pocketed Gordos. Just throw out that forward air anytime the neutral B has come through for the side of Schleim. Schleim's already at 52% here, and King DDD can take stocks relatively early, but it's all about landing those strong hits and getting to that portion of the game. That being said, Leodog is at 94 here. This is a critical stock for Leodog to hold on to give Boise State a chance in the later rounds here. But Schleim would be content with taking one at least right now. Can't find this up smash, and they've got stage control once more.
This is why people say, Soy, that there's not really matchups in this game where you just press one button and win. And we're seeing that here. Slime, yeah, is winning. Like, they have the ability to take away DDD's main neutral tool. However, when you try and use that and Leodog reversals you into an instant kill and finds a way to gimp one of the most edge guardable characters in the game, that's what I call turning an entire matchup on its head. Picture perfect gameplay right there. Honestly, the best deconstruction of a losing matchup I think I've ever seen right there by Leodog. Well, at least in this tournament. Like, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane to see from Leodog, right? I mentioned how it feels like the King DDDs in this tournament have had their struggles, right? Everyone finding ways to work around that Gordo. That's such a huge part of King DDD's kit. But Slime getting absolutely destroyed for it in the first minute of the match. The fact that Gordo killed, I want to see the percent that they lost their stock at. It felt like they were about 40 or 50 when that Gordo gets hit back at them and ends up killing them on their second stock. Fantastic play. And Leodog, the fact that they had that read that early in the game, it wasn't an in-game adaptation saying, oh, I can get away with this. It was, I know this exists. This is the counterplay to that move. And they just made it work so early. And I think that was a very much kind of like a punch to the gut, just taking the wind out of the sails of Slime in that moment. So now Sacramento State still with a solid lead, 2 members remain. This is member number 3, and the Bowser signals to me that Rito is stepping into the ring.
Yep. A heavyweight championship right here, and oh, Leodog goes right in for blood as Go is still fading off the screen, and yet it's Rito who comes out with the percentage advantage. That little bit of aggression now has Rito playing around this center stage. Gets caught by some big damage though. Gordo into up B, and the landing's caught. No jump right now, has to retreat to ledge, and at this present time, we can see that Rito is actually getting battered and bruised now that they're not in their initial advantage state.
Oh, flame breath, coming through. Quick 76 now onto Leodog, helping even out that percent, because Rito, like you mentioned, in a little bit of disadvantage for now. Going for the up smash. Rito might be looking a little greedy with a couple of these types of landing options. They use the neutral B early here to get Rito off stage, but oh, the timing of the get-up attack. They were out of ledge invincibility there, but they get the side B, yikes, and down goes Leodog's first stock. Huge opener here from Rito after what seemed very difficult for them.
Up tilt right there. Not going to kill quite yet. Looking for a stronger option, stronger aerial. Back air puts them in a ledge situation. Where can you find the kill? Not going to be a down smash this time, my friend, as Leodog ends up back at the ledge, where they do feel comfortable, yes, but every little attempt that fails to get off the ledge is another 5-6%, and that adds up, Soy. Adds up in a big way.
Rito, I think, right now looking for one more neutral B. If they land it, that's so much percent going to be headed Leodog's way. Neutral B used by Leodog here, but still not going to be able to take the stock quite yet. There's the flame breath. A little bit of chip damage. Gordo lands, but it's still not enough to kill. Lingering hitbox, though, will freeze them long enough to land the up tilt and take stock number 1 off of Rito. Leodog eating a ton of percent again, and forward tilted again off stage. Low recovery, they can't make it back. Not enough distance. Rito closing out stock number 2, and Leodog down to the last hope of Boise State in the opening round.
That might be the best punishment of DDD's super armored recovery I've ever seen. 2 frames with the flame breath into an immediate other 2 frame with a killing forward tilt. I mean, that's what every player dreams of doing when they go for a 2 frame. We actually saw executed by Rito, who has continued to push this advantage state, has Leodog at the ledge once again, hits the Gordo, but instead they just catch him with a soft hit of that up smash. 85% as Leodog has struggled to even move.
Ooh, they got the nair, but no follow-up into the forward air. They get the forward tilt instead. 2 hits of Gordo. Might mean a little bit more chip damage. Neutral B used. Another up tilt. Leodog in the advantage state right now. And they have to find a way to take this stock, so they go out for the edge guard. They get a second forward air, but should be able to make it back. No! Great edge guard there by Leodog. They find the back air after re-grabbing the ledge. They retreat now. They'll be able to grab the ledge once more, but they're at 103. Leodog has to play so carefully here. They're able to roll back to center stage, using that hammer, that disjoint, to swing on Rito a couple of times here. Rito at 56 now. Able to shield the Gordo, inhaled once more, and Leodog, this comeback feels like it's online, but maybe not, as they get nared off stage. Leodog can only really afford to get hit maybe once more here by something soft, but there are so many strong hitboxes to worry about.
Ooh, and that's going to be the game right there. 1 point up. Sac State has come out swinging between Sora's 7-stock run and the rest of them cleaning up shop. That is going to be Sac State taking a lead over Boise State. Boise State had some answers right there, but in the end, they weren't quite able to clutch it out. I do want to say I really like that last game. The fact that Rito and Leodog were just both not dropping edge guards. Like, they were getting aggressive off stage at the ledge, and they were actually getting rewarded for it. People have said Ultimate doesn't have edge guarding. That's what I like to see. I like to see actual edge guarding coming out to play. And overall, a really great showing. Boise State clearly has some tools, but Sacramento State is looking a little bit too tough to break right now.
And I agree. I love the fact that both these players were getting aggressive. I mean, I think you and I have talked about it before. In these formats where every stock matters so much, to have that agency, to be aggressive, to go out and confirm your kills rather than wait for your opponent to come back to stage and make another mistake. Go out there and take those stocks down, and that's what both of these players were able to do in that matchup. But it played to Rito's favor. They held onto their stock, got a, well, by the scoreline, 4-stock victory here in set number 1 against Boise State. And we didn't even get to see the 4th and final member, which we would assume is Jamar, but Sacramento State has a handful of players that they could have opted to send in that 5th and final spot. But now these teams, they get a little bit of a break to try and recuperate, regroup, regain, and see what they can do in set number 2.
Yeah, so we're going to go to the briefest of breaks, 3 minutes, and when we get back, we're going to see this match continue, and if Boise State can bring it back, they might be going to the grand finals, but Sac State is on the warpath right now, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back in 3 minutes.
Test. How they've gotten here is incredible, but let's take a look at the players. We've got Latimos, there's Wilds finally making it up on the roster, and Nando. We've talked about all these players, Bass. Who you got your eyes on?
Honestly, at this point, it's got to be Wilds. Wilds has been an incredible player. He has been the player we didn't expect to be here. Again, the original roster we saw for this team did not have Wilds on it. Wilds, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm glad that you are playing. My goodness, have you stunted at this point? I see you, Dorothy. I see you looking at me. I'm ready to see how you play as well. Honestly, this is going to be an incredible day, and it's a full house here. I just want to real quick, before we switch over to the other roster, this dude has a gaming chair. He rolled this out so that he could show. Yeah. Do you want to move over a little bit, show people how you're literally filling the seats? Every seat here is filled. We have brought chairs out. Everybody is here. Yeah, look at this. There's not a seat empty. Everybody is ready for this grand final, and it's for a reason. We've been waiting.
You know who else is ready is Wilds, who we talked about, because we heard him in the interview, and they were like, all right, Wilds, like, who do you want to play? He's like, I want to play Boise. So Boise State University, let's take a look at this roster as well. We've got Dirtho. We've talked a lot about him. Gil has stood up to the test, but Instinct, a double tap merchant today.
All right, let's just give you the stat lines for the two. Remember how we said that, like, when Boise wins, they win big? In those 2 games, here are those stat lines for Instinct. 4 goals, 2 assists in their 7-0 victory. Final game, 2 goals, 1 assist. This man has been all over the board, all over the place. And Instinct, can you hear me? Can you stand up real quick, give the crowd a little look at you? Come on. I think Dirtho's trying to get him too. I can see the contact there. You know what? They're focused. They're locked in. They got to focus on the game ahead. Because again, this is what we were just talking. Doc was just here talking to us, and he wanted to remind us that as much as people have Boise taking this one, they're taking this as seriously as possible. They recognize that this is not going to be an easy feat for them to get past GCU, and they're taking this very, very seriously.
Oh, they absolutely do. And listen, to take this seriously is no understatement because, yes, they've got that bid to the CECC, but guess what? They've got the finals, the first place trophy to work for. Okay, right here, they've got the trophy. They've got the $1,500. They want to add to their collection of rings that we showed. Coach Doc showed us. They have the Rocket League ring right in the middle from the Mountain West Championship. If they win this here, they can add to this ring right here. They want to sport as many wins as they can.
They've got the Mountain West Championship for the ring. They've got a CRL bid to Worlds, and we've got game number 1 in this best of 7, Boise State versus GCU, and GCU to start us off with a bang.
We were showing off the rings, but GCU said, let's show off the goals. Nando taking on Dirtho.
This is a player to watch. We've been talking about Nando all weekend long. Paulie interviewed him, and Nando, calm, cool, and collected. Man was like, yeah, it's another day at the office. This might not be another day at the office, though. This might be a different one, because Boise State, threatening as always, looking for a first goal, and they will not find it off of that, but they will find some offense. 40 seconds in, they're down by 1, but for how long?
By the way, remember, this could be a long stretch of events here in this series. Of course, it's at the Grand Finals. Big save from Wilds. Needs to keep his goal line contained. Able to do that, but only for now. It's been a long stretch of offense here for Boise State. They just can't find that goal to go in just yet.
Ooh, Dirtho, though, with a monstrous dunk, sets up Instinct and gets the first one here. Boise back into the game quickly.
Yeah, they didn't really take a whole lot of time to do that, did they? I mean, the offensive possession started a whole long time ago, so it was only a matter of time when they get that first goal. I think Dirtho did want to get that, and now we see it on the scoreboard. It is a best of 7. This is the only series of this event that could go the stretch.
I'd like to point out, by the way, since we started talking about the crowd filling in, more people have arrived. We are literally getting more and more people in here. Everybody wants to see this matchup. They know what's at stake. Again, we have 3 different esports being played in person here. Overwatch, Valorant, and Rocket League. This is the first Grand Finals, and it is the Grand Finals with Boise in it.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the CECC West Regional Qualifier. We are getting ready for set number 2 of this best of 3 series between Sacramento State and Boise State. Sacramento State, they got the first win in that opening series, but wow, it was such a dominant performance from the first 2 players, particularly Sora kind of earning the MVP of that opening series.
Yeah, that is something you need to find an answer to. They talked about how they sit in their room and they figure out what counters they could possibly have. And looking at their character roster, I don't see one character that I'm like, yeah, that's the answer right there. That's how you deal with Sora. It's not that clear cut. You've got to find a way adaptation-wise, because if you're literally getting one stock per player, that's not exactly a recipe for bringing home a win, because then you're essentially doing what Weber did yesterday and playing at like 1 or 2 players down. Like you're counting those players out just for a chance to get one even game. And they almost got there. It was 4 stocks to 0, but like that's not that bad. But once you get an early disadvantage in that stock economy, it just trickles downhill. It all sifts away and then you're left with nothing. And we've got to see a Boise State finding a way to avoid the very same fate that occurred to them in match 1.
I think the biggest thing about Sora and why they were so successful was that they got off to such an early start. Every stock, every time they opened a match against a new player, they'd find themselves at a 60% lead in the first 15 to 30 seconds, and then they would just extend that lead best they could, just hold on to that lead. Everything was a trade and beyond. And now we can see in set number 2 a lineup change up here. Jamar, who we did not see in that previous set, but we mentioned was huge in Boise or in Sacramento State's performances in their victories in pool play, stepping in first here against Leodog, who was the anchor last round for the Broncos.
So immediate adaptations, but a grab at 0. Can Laydog survive this? Falling up a reverse. Okay, 67%. Not terrible. Able to survive. And what we saw a lot of the time earlier was any unsafe option on shield was punished with an up B. But Jamar is unsafe that time, gets caught. And because of that, it's actually an even game. Laydog has clearly adapted, but not ready for the roll into them up B. Jamar is very liberal with these uppercuts.
Wow, and the fact that they were able to get it seemingly out of nowhere, too. They find the first stock, but it's quickly answered back now by that dash attack, and no percent taken in that sequence as well. Means maybe an opportunity here. 0 death for Laydog, maybe, as Jamar just getting so much damage here. That's twice now Laydog has kind of held out towards the left side of the stage on those combos, and even though they're surviving, they take so much damage for it, but it does give Laydog a second chance at life now. Dash attacks landing, neutral B for the fireball, going to interrupt the Gordo once more. Laydog gets back in, can't find the grab here. So many dashes around each other, just feels like they're waiting to get that one solid read, but no one can find it quite yet.
Jamar wanted an up B there so badly. When you see someone just walking around, not throwing out any options, they're going for their kill option. And if you don't have a good answer to it, what else are you going to do? Now we're getting to the percent where Luigi Cyclone will actually start to kill. And so we've got to see Laydog even more wary of like other options, and that's scary. Luckily, the Cyclone is staled right now, so you're going to live that one, but you're still going to need to find a way, because at this point, 169, staled or not, that's going to hurt a lot. So gets Jamar away from the ledge, puts them into an edge guarding situation. Is this where you can get the finish right there? No, just retreats with the forward tilt. I like the safety in theory, but now you're losing the stock, and Jamar is up.
Jamar's movement is on point right now. They nearly find a grab here. You know they're looking for it. They've gone out for a couple of these grabs, but can't find it quite yet. Jamar at 85 means that Laydog will likely have to work really hard to take this next stock here. But it feels like the game plan right now for Laydog is somehow, some way, get this Luigi off stage where we can potentially get this edge guard. Gets another neutral B, goes for the forward air. They land the nair instead, but it's not going to be able to take a stock quite yet. And they just can't seemingly get this spacing down, but eventually they will find a forward tilt and tie up the stock count.
Yeah, Laydog keeping it very even right now. It's great to see as that falling nair is not punished too hard. You can see Jamar is trying to fish for these options. Doesn't get a 2-frame either. Oh, Laydog went for it all right there. But right here, it's going back to a more slow-paced game, a little more tense, but a little bit of ping-pong action, and right now we're at even percents. Jamar's off stage, forced to burn some resources. They get up after the forward tilt, so it's back to an even game, though, Soy.
I'd be very careful with Laydog on these forward tilts from ledge. We saw Jamar already roll behind off of ledge and get one up B, and the spacing that Laydog is at hasn't really changed for those forward tilts. Jamar getting a little aggressive, gets hit by the Gordo. He's very close to the blast zone, but he just does barely survive, but he gets run off forward aired, and Laydog shuts down the Luigi. Boise stated their first lead of the day.
This was the biggest question mark we had in the last one. Where was Jamar? When Jamar comes out, how is Boise State going to answer? Laydog has shown that even in a matchup that is frankly terrifying, Laydog has the answers. I think we actually saw this matchup in the first run between Sacramento State and Boise, and we pretty much just saw Laydog land on Jamar's shield 3 times and get up-beat 3 times, and it was kind of just like, okay, this doesn't look good at all. But Laydog had the adaptations this time, 2 of them. 1, actually 3. The first one, they were hitting back every single Gordo that was reflected. Those Gordos became a liability to reflect instead of just dodge. 2, they were edge guarding hard. Like you said, their entire game plan was funneling Jamar towards the ledge. And 3, no more of those up-Bs out of shield. There were 1 or 2 here or there, but they showed that Jamar could not get away with them.
Jamar wanting to be aggressive and take those stocks early, using that up B. They were able to take the first stock in doing so, just seemingly out of nowhere. Roll from ledge up B. Who does that, right? But Jamar able to sneak one out there. But Laydog, like you said, the adaptations coming through in this series, solid play, especially Laydog's ability to seemingly make something out of nothing is something that is very noteworthy in the past 2 sets now, right? Being able to steal away Schleim's opening stock, or at least on Leodog's opening stock with, playing back the Gordo. The play around knowing how opponents are going to play around getting the Gordo or hitting the Gordo back. That is really the difference maker for Leodog. They came in with a game plan saying, I am not going to take damage from my own Gordo. This is my projectile. I am going to win this neutral battle, this mind game. They have come prepared. It is working right now. They've got this early lead against Boise State, but now the danger comes in. Sacramento State gets the chance to counterpick.
Yeah, and how are you going to deal with Sora? That's the question. We don't know for sure if Sora's coming in. I would not be shocked to see Sora as the anchor, but no. You're opening up with Sora and Jamar. You want to just get this battering ram and clear it through Boise State's heavy wooden doors. They are not going to... They're not going to pull punches whatsoever. But any marathon runner will tell you that you should not start out with a sprint. So we'll see if this gives them the early lead that they need, or if it'll come back to bite them later on. Sacramento State at a slight deficit right now. Can Sora even it up without dropping anything?
So far, my immediate question is, what's Sora's answer to the Gordo? They've got the spells that could potentially wreak some havoc, but they've got the combo game on this big body too. Look at this. Walked all the way across the stage, and they're finally able to get the shield down, but they've got no time to survive. 0 to death on the opener for Sora. Down goes Leodog. We're back to a tied game.
Wow. That is what you want to do, in theory, to DDD. Take away the Gordo as a neutral tool, either by hitting it back or by just invalidating it with projectiles of your own, combo DDD to death, and find a kill confirm. Obviously, that's people's gameplay against everyone, but King DDD especially, that's how you invalidate them. That's what I was expecting to see from Jamar, but while Leodog seemed very, very prepared to take down Jamar, Sora had been watching, had been taking notes, was ready to punish Leodog from going too high, and, well, now we're at an even game between Boise State and Sacramento College.
And it's that gear change from Sora again, right? We've seen Sora really depend on projectiles for the past couple of rounds against the past couple of opponents that Boise State had brought to the table. But this time around, recognizing, hey, King DDD is a big body and I've got a solid combo game. Go in, make this play happen, and they're able to just string them across the stage. And 9 times out of 10, I think we see Sora's go for up smash, right? Because it's usually trying to catch, King DDD landing or something along those lines. But going for that forward smash, the follow-up there, recognizing, hey, just continue this horizontal game plan. Just keep sending them out and getting, the read on where Leodog wanted to go. Even when Leodog gets out of that combo and is holding shield on the ground, where do you go in that moment? What do? You still have Sora on your shield pressing buttons, and there's just nothing quick that Leodog can really throw out to beat something out like that. Even the forward tilt that Leodog had depended upon in that previous series against Jamar, I think is just too slow to what Sora as a character brings to the table.
I agree wholeheartedly. And we saw pretty much every single player of Boise State, with the exception of Leodog, now Leodog joins that rank, take a swing at Sora. They all had a chance to feel out what matchups worked best, what didn't, and I feel like overall I liked Season Curly's the most. I like the Sephiroth. I feel like Sora is now ready for the Sephiroth, which scares me. Playing that grounded game is good, but if Sora is 100% ready for it, then... I wish I was some omnipotent coach who could just say what the actual answer was every single time. But the question is, the iota falls on Boise State. They've got to feel out what they felt worked best in the moment, and then take a swing at finding that final counter pick, because this could very well be the final counter pick against Sora. Because if this one person goes down, I'm not sure how the others afterwards are going to fare. So how do you open up here? I'm going to come out and say it. I think Boise's win condition right here is taking 2 stocks from Sora. If they can do that, I think they can fight back to an even game and take us to a 3rd crew battle. Season Curly's, I want to see 2 stocks from them. If not, we might just see the same pattern repeat as last crew battle.
Huge opening here for the side of Boise State. They get the chance to counterpick Sora at full stocks, and they opt to send in Seasoned on the Sephiroth. And I think one of the reasons you put Seasoned in here on this Sephiroth is because of that counter that they were so prone to in the battle against Schleim. That projectile gate, can not only throw out an active hitbox, but it can shut down a lot of the projectiles that Sora likes to throw out. And so there's at least one easy answer. You've also got the distance to play around, but these early percents, so far, relatively even. Sora's juggle game, though, coming online right now, 78% now. Delta Season, one wing active, 95% off stage once more. How do they get back to stage? This is a ledge regrab, and they are able to get around the multi-hit of that up B. Now Sora throwing out their own counter, saying, I have that move too. That up B could be susceptible to being caught out. Watch for that later this set, but right now, it's Sora in the lead.
And already, it is looking very hard to deal with, because I was saying Sephiroth is a character that can just kill you, but that is if you're getting grabs, and it is if you're finding setups off of that Nair, neither of which are things we've been really seeing from Seasoned Curlies. Now a ledge trapping situation. This is another way that Sephiroth can just get stocks early on. After all that delay, they don't get a hit, and after some patience at the ledge, Sora gets a reversal.
And they side B Seasoned Curlies off the stage once more, using that forward air to hang off stage, and they'll be able to get back. Sweet spot of the forward tilt is just going to kill outright. Don't think Sora was ready for it. Sora will answer quickly with a back air, but stock for stock right there. It's interesting to see Seasoned Curlies striking first. Stage once more. Can't really challenge Sora with those low recoveries. That counter is not easily landable from that position. So Seasoned Curlies is going to be, I think, a little bit more passive whenever Sora is along the ledge. Again, quick options being used here to make sure that the punish on Sora is not all that strong. Sora, in fact, unscathed here on stock number 2. And this is that lead I was talking about the early game. 105 right now to 0 is the percent differential. The dash attack is nearly going to kill. Seasoned has to be so careful with how they get up from this ledge.
Yeah, a little bit terrifying, Soy, but once again, the pop out of that freeze is going to be the finisher right there. Sora is so clean with it. And I talked about it before, how being able to convert kills off of stray hits from projectiles into kills is the biggest thing. And that's exactly what Sora is doing here every single time.
The neutral B will land. Seasoned Curlies at 65 now to the 35 of Sora. The battle for stage control is on. Seasoned Curlies again just has not been able to land a combo. They're playing so tentative, just trying to find that one window in, but it's very much so been one and done. Sora with complete control of the pace of this game, landing projectiles as well. Up B through the platform does not catch Sora here. They'll have to cycle through the spells once more. Chip, chip, chip away at this Sephiroth. They don't use the second follow-up of that side B. They opt to go for dash attack instead. Now an up B, trying to catch the up B of Sora here. Side B in. First hit, to be able to be followed up upon. 128 now on Seasoned Curlies. They get a parry, but they can't get the punish, and dash attack is just going to kill outright. Seasoned Curlies goes down. Sora holds 2 stocks.
And those 2 stocks, they're going to be brutal for the rest of Boise State to fight their way through. I'm worried. They weren't able to get those 2 stocks like I would have liked to see, and thus, that's Sac State with a 2-stock lead. And that's not that big, but it's also 2 stocks of Sora. And Sora has shown with 2 stocks that they can wipe out 7. So where do you find the counter pick? Because you don't want to leave this last anchor to have to fight through both of the remaining Sac State players. Like, Schleim and Rito are not pushovers. Like, it's not like they're like, well, now it's the easy part of Sac State. No! Those people, both of those players have taken more than 3 stocks, I believe, every single time they've come out to play. So you've got to find other answers. You've got to find a way to shut down Sora right here and now. Doesn't have to be an even game, but you want to preserve at least like 4 stocks to 6, I think could still be winnable. But if you're down to your last player, and they're going up against Sora, we might just start looking forward towards the other game. Which, by the way, is a quick insight, quick recap. UCR just won a few minutes ago over Weber State 2-0. The first game they won with 1 stock remaining, so Weber came very close. The second game, UC Riverside won with 7 stocks remaining. That's scary. That's who the winner of this will meet in the grand finals. And I don't think either of them want to fight them, but they both want to be in those grand finals.
UCR, the #1 seed entering this playoff bracket. They were undefeated in pool play, and they had and now after that Weber State semifinal, they've had a couple games come down to the wire, so it is going to be close whoever they play against in that grand finals, but we have to get a winner here. And right now, Sacramento State looking solid in that position that they've got. Sora with 2 stocks and 2 players in their pocket still remaining. Boise State right now going through their list of players and characters, deciding who they want to send in here. From what we've seen, it's either Gunslinger or Melfor that will likely be stepping in here, and I'd assume that it's going to be Melfor as that anchor role, that 4th man in, that last man standing, the way that Boise State have kind of traditionally shifted their roster about, which means that Gunslinger coming in here is probably or at least Gunslinger is likely the answer here to Sora. And Gunslinger we've seen on a couple different characters. We'll see how much they can get done. I'm not 100% sure what the game plan is, though, for Gunslinger going in because of the characters that they've picked. The Palu, the Roy, the Cloud going in against Sora. We'll have to see what they want to do here and what stage maybe they want to go to try and throw Sora off their game.
I know Sora likes platforms, but I don't think Final Destination is great unless you have a guaranteed way to juggle Sora, which doesn't really exist. So faced with that, I'm not really sure. Like, I feel like you don't want to see those platforms, but if you are getting more from the platforms than Sora is, then honestly, take us over to a battlefield. Take us over to a Yoshi's. Like, honestly, throwing Sora off their rhythm is crucial, and we're going to see the Roy come out. I do like this. Jab, back air, if you can hit that, or jab, forward smash, jab, forward tilt, at ledge, anywhere between 30 and 60% might just kill Sora. So if you're able to do that, I would be happy to see this Gunslinger Roy put in some big work against Sora.
I don't remember if we saw this yesterday from Gunslinger's Roy, but I believe we've also seen him go for things a little cheekier, like jab into side B at the ledge to potentially try and take stocks that way if they're catching, Sora drifting out. That could be another option, but they got to get to that portion of the game in the first place here. They got all 3 stocks to work with, but every stock vital to Boise State's success here in this matchup. They have to find a way to take down Sora here and give themselves a shot at those next 2 members. Right now, things relatively early on are going Sora's way as they land that counter. Gunslinger's off stage, up B, not going to be countered quite yet. Sora unable to drift in close up to the stage to get that counter on that recovery. But this dash attack is putting in so much work. Those shoes are so big, and they're going to die off the top to the Thunder as well. Sora takes 1 off a Gunslinger.
And already looking a little bit dicey, but Gunslinger holds on. But now they're in a... Oh, they just get right back to center stage. I was like, okay, we're going to see Sora edge guarding for a while. But Gunslinger goes right over the top and controls center stage with a powerful... Oh! I keep seeing Gunslinger get the start of something amazing, but Sora always finds ways to answer it right as I'm in the middle of my sentence.
Another freeze here. And again, Sora's timing, just knowing when these players are going to get out of that option. Be it mash out or just timeout, they know how to follow up. And down goes Gunslinger, just off of 1 strong hit there. That's all they needed. Gunslinger down to their last stock here. Sora still with 2 on the board here. Huge stock for Sora. They hold on to this one. Boise State would have to take the next 8 unanswered stocks. And that is going to be a tough ask. But look at this. The follow-through is just so clean. They're going to be able to catch him before he lands as well, but still able to grab the ledge. They go for the side B, but it's trading once again. Sora knocking them away. They go for the down smash. That's a lot of shield pressure, but still knocked away once more. A follow-up here. The jungle game of Sora has always been dangerous. That up air should kill relatively soon. Air dodge back down. Caught by the dash attack once more. Low recovery. They don't find the back air. Thunder, not going to be able to land quite yet. And Gunslinger sitting at 126 with stage control.
Yeah, knocked out of center stage once again in a recovery situation, goes high, an opportunity to finish right here, but they've got to deal with these projectile barrages. No thunder for you. A standoff at the ledge, goes into a forward tilt, and that's a stock off of Sora for Gunslinger. Now Gunslinger can take this stock right here. It is very possible Roy is, well, he's a little cheeky with it, but can Gunslinger find a way? Not this time, as that rising back air will finish off Gunslinger, and that's only one more stock off of Sora. That's a lot. 7 stocks still remain on the side of Boise State or on the side of Sacramento State, and Boise State is down to just 1.
One final member here remaining for the side of Boise State. Sora still with that last stock available. They've done so much work. They took down Leodog. They took down Seasoned Curlies. They've now taken down Gunslinger. They are flexing their muscles right now for Sacramento State. They are showing up in such a huge way in a playoff game to have this performance. Fantastic to see. And I'd assume now for Boise State, it's got to be Melford stepping in on a couple of different characters we've seen this player on. Banjo-Kazooie has been the most consistent. And I have to think that is the option here, especially when you look at the remaining players for Sacramento State as well. Banjo, has their ups and downs, but at least he's been the most consistent character we've seen. And when your back is against the wall, you got to lean on comfort, I feel like, if you're Boise State.
Yeah, I worry specifically against this matchup. I feel like Melfor could maybe, in the ideal world, playing at the absolute peak of their gameplay, Melfor could get through the final 2 members of Sac State, but only if they have 3 stocks remaining. And in this opening stock, how is Melfor going to adapt to what Sora brings to the table? I mean, the outstanding hit stun on every single one of Sora's attacks, like, they're just little slaps, and the sound effects, like, we've talked about the sound effects for other characters, like Ken, for example, or Incineroar especially. Sora, it doesn't feel like you should be hit for that long every single time you get slapped, but those little thwacks every single time you get knocked by that big round Keyblade, they keep you in the air for a while. They keep you in hit stun for a while, and it's very difficult to get out of there.
Very much the case. And then you look at your percent afterward and you go, oh, I'm at kill percent here by, an up B, right? Sora's got some surprising kill power in their kit. Even that, first hit of forward tilt that took down Gunslinger's second stock, I was expecting the full, 3 hits to come through, but they just say, nope, just 1. That's all I need here. And all of a sudden, reset back to center stage as Gunslinger drops down from Halo. So Sora very strong right now, just playing with confidence, I feel like, for the side of the Hornets. And Melford, we'll see what they are able to do here in this last stock, because this is it for Boise State, right? They have to find a way to take the next 7 stocks to stay alive in this duel. Otherwise, Sacramento State are headed to Grand Finals. And then Grand Finals, if Sacramento State get there, is a duel of California in this wild, wild Western qualifier. So should be fun to see here as players are getting things sorted out in terms of stage selection and whatnot now. Not 100% sure what the game plan is moving forward. Even if Sora drops here, you have that potential to pick against whomever Melford sends in as their character selection. So we'll have to see who comes out on top here. I feel like it is going to be the Banjo, and you see on that character selection screen, yep, the Banjo and Kazooie is going to be locked in for this duel. They've got to find a way to at least take down 1 stock from Sora TJU. Can they do it? Can they keep the Broncos' hopes alive? Let's find out as we go to game.
3, 2, 1,
Battlefield, I like it. There are platform extensions for Sora, but very clearly Melford has gotten more out of them, and you can bow really fast. I've seen that before. As we're into the game now, and already we don't see Melford going as high with their aerial barrage this time. Sticking to Battlefield, sticking to the platform. They are trying to stay... They froze them out of the Wonder Wing? Okay.
I've never seen that interaction happen. Oh my goodness. Wow, the spacing, the confidence of Sora recognizing, all right, he's going for the forward smash. I know that neutral getup does not put me in harm's way there, and then the follow-up to punish did not get too much off the back of it, but that is just a statement in terms of Sora knowing the limits of their character, knowing the spacing of their moves. They are on point right now.
Gets back to ledge with that Wonder Wing, but that's an option? You can do that? Sora's counter has special properties where it doesn't just hit you back, but it literally puts the opponent in a special recoil state that I believe is unique to Sora's counter. And it apparently gives Sora the unique ability to counter the strongest hit, the strongest tool in Melfor's toolkit. I'm not sure Melfor was ready for it because they are already changing the way they recover, changing their game plan around that, but you can see that Melfor is shaken, and so am I.
They go for the forward smash there off the berry, but still not able to take the stock quite yet. And they might be down to their last one here if this edge guard goes well, but the Wonder Wing will get them back to the stage here. Sora at 117. They find the up air. Not enough to take down the stock quite yet. Thunder's being thrown out. Wonder Wing used. Dash attack. Keeping them up in the air. Has to use another Wonder Wing. Another up B back to stage. The chase down. First hit a side B. And they get the down smash. The call out from Sora saying you can't land on that platform. You're going to be somewhere around here. Down goes Melfor's second stock. But he does land the forward air. So down goes Sora. And Boise State are on their last breath here. One stock remaining into the next round.
One stock versus 6. Not going to mince words. This is what we generally consider to be a bad position to be in. How did we get there? Sacramento State opened up with their two heaviest hitters. Jamar, with the immense combo game, was taken down by Laydog, yes. But Sora, there was no clear answer right there. And it really did take, well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stocks to be able to take down Sora's 3 stocks. That right there, that is the mark of a star player. And Sacramento State, they're going to leverage that, sure, but now they fall back on their other players. And again, we keep having to say, yeah, Rito, they're no slouch, they're really good. Unfortunately, Sora has not really given Rito and Schleim playtime to be able to show off that they are no slouches.
It's absolutely absurd, right? The fact that, you know, Jamar and Sora are the anchors and they've just performed so well, and yet we know that Schleim and Rito in the back pockets for other seasons, those two have been consistent namestays, and those used to be the guys, the go-to players for the Hornets of the past. So to see them in these last 2 spots, the Hornets certainly feel confident about their chances here in this set. Melfor, though, we've seen have these pop-off moments, a very adaptable player in their own right. And you kind of saw it in that set against Sora, right? The fact that they said, okay, Wonder Wing cannot work anymore because of that counter, right? I have to change up my game plan. I have to change up how I recover. And they're able to do so the second it goes wrong, the moment after. So Melfor, though, I mean, now you look at them with 1 stock apiece. They've got to make those adaptations even faster here. And they've somehow got to find a way to take the next 6 stocks here. Sacramento State deciding right now between Rito and Schleim who they will opt to send in to this third and potentially final set here. But Melfor, there's so much for them to work on here. Do you have a game plan maybe to go up against Schleim or Rito in this sense?
I would think this... The game plan that did not work against Sora, I think will work quite well against other characters. That being lingering in this upwards diagonal area where you can attack with your egg grenade, you can attack with your eggs, but you don't have to put yourself at risk as much because Villager doesn't really have that many like vertical diagonal burst options. The one thing Villager can do is pocket those projectiles when you drop down, which is going to make it even more difficult, and that's exactly what they just did. Now I do need to see, are you able to do an egg lay? Oh no. Okay, so Schleim has just deactivated the egg grenade.
Ooh.
And there goes my entire game plan that I just laid out for you. Because now we have to see Melfor getting in there and scrapping, which means trades are inevitable, which means Schleim is going to get the opportunity to force Melfor to make decisions. And this is absolutely picture perfect what you want to be seeing.
The side of Sacramento State, the fact that, like you mentioned, those trades are going to be inevitable for Melfor to deal with, and only one stock on their side means that Melfor is just going to have to make plays at high percents in order to win this battle. And Schleim chipping away at this one stock that they need. They take it down, they could book themselves a ticket to the grand finals of this tournament. Schleim at only 50% right now. Melfor 72. They land with Nair, but they aren't able to find the forward smash. You got to feel like one of those has to land here if they're going to find a way to take this stock. And Schleim just playing so passive, not even approaching, just saying, you've got to come to me, and waiting for Melfor to commit to something like a jump in, like a dash. And Schleim now holding center stage, 107 on this stock count. They're going to be able to sit here, and they're just throwing out projectiles saying, you've got to come to me. I hope you've got a game plan and are ready to make a play.
Yeah, that was the definition of no nonsense right there. Just deciding, yeah, no, I'm just going to use the Wonder Wing. But that's only 3 Wonder Wings remaining, and Schleim has been winning neutral this entire time. Soy has to get around the ledge trapping somehow, goes high, gets a back air, opportunity to edge guard right here, but you can't get aggressive off stage, not when everything is on the line, and Schleim knows it, Melfor knows it, and it's getting desperate with H and every little tap from Schleim.
Pressure on the shield. Melfor at 133. They land, tree planted, Lloyd Rocket to try and cover. Schleim walks away from the first hit. They get grounded. Up smash though. Schleim with the ability to mash out there. So no combo follow-up potential for Melfor. Looking for the jabs. Rapid jab on shield. They spot dodge the back throw. They get a grab. But the up tilt does not connect. Villager's just too short. Schleim might have to burn their 4th Wonder Wing here, and they will be able to do that. They don't grab the ledge. Now they're able to do so, but the movement around the shield's so dangerous. Another up smash. Schleim gets out of it. They get grabbed, and this is a back throw. Goodbye, Banjo. Goodbye, Boise State. Sacramento State and the Hornets are on to grand finals.
Schleim had an answer for every single trick up Melfor's sleeve, and we saw them in slow motion, one by one. The egg lay, gone, out. No egg grenade for you. Just completely invalidated that tool from the first 3 seconds of the match. Then showed that they could not be hit, that they were always going to play at a distance where getting hit by the eggs was not going to lead to a combo, because they would throw out their own projectiles too. So even when we would see the egg hit them, the egg blaster rather, there wouldn't be any follow-up. There would be a trade instead. And then 3, an answer every single time they got buried. I mean, they didn't get hit by up tilt. They mashed out to get out of the up smash. Perfect. I mean, I can't ask for more than that. Maybe that's a little quirk with Villager's Hurtbox. Maybe it's something else we're not aware of. Regardless, Schleim knew it, and Melfor just didn't have an answer. There was nothing that could be done. And that is why Sacramento State is going to the grand finals.
What a fantastic effort by the Hornets overall. Jamar getting shut down early looked like a good sign for the side of Boise State, but Sora taking, like you said, so many stocks. 9 out of 12 in set number 2 there. A fantastic performance from them, not only in set number 1, but there in set number 2 to help close out that series. And Boise State, the hosts of this event, are eliminated in this semifinal, unfortunately for them. But it means that we've got our grand final set. It's going to be a duel between schools out of California. Going to be UC Riverside going up against Sacramento State. I cannot wait for this matchup.
It's going to be a great one, Soy, and we're going to be setting it up as we speak, but we're going to go to a quick break while we get all these teams ready to face off to see who is qualifying for the CECC Finals in Austin, Texas in May. So don't go anywhere. The grand finals will be back on Esports U2 in just a little bit.
Gonna get that trophy that we'll see very shortly, and they get to add to their ring as well. They earned this Rocket League ring from the Mountain West at first place, but now they'll get to add to the accolades just here in the West Regional Qualifier of CECC. Just add to the tally for Boise State, add to the trophy case, Bass. That is just massive for this team.
Yeah, this is a nice trophy that they're going to be seeing here. This big, shiny guy in between us has been lurking all day long, and now finally Boise get to grip it within their own hands and be proud of the win that they have taken. Again, we weren't sure if they were going to be taking the win. We had confidence in them, but their biggest tests lie in the semi and grand finals. They overtook Oregon, they overtake GCU, and now they're over every single hump in front of them and on to the sunset. Right away in glory, right away in style as Boise. What a win, what a game, what an impressive performance.
To do it on home turf as well. They had the crowd behind them. They had everyone rooting for them for the win, so it's got to feel great as well just to do it in front of not only their fans, their family members, Bass. We got to talk to Dirtho's family. They're here watching them play, watching them be an absolute beast. It's got to be so fulfilling to do this in person. So many players being able to travel to represent their university, to represent their club that helped them get here. Teams like GCU, teams like everybody, but Boise State, it's home turf. It's flexing like they know and they love to do.
And I will say this much. Listen, Boise, be happy of what you've done. GCU do the same. This is not the last time we're going to see you guys. We will be seeing both of these teams in Arlington. They have both made bids there. Again, Boise already getting there based off of Mountain West, meaning there's another spot open even if they did win this. And they did win it. That means GCU now take it. So congratulations to GCU. And like I said, this is not the last time we will see you, and I expect big things out of this team. They exceeded expectations here today, Pyro, and I would not be surprised if they do it again.
They've got to go home celebrating.
Yes.
Honestly, what a journey to get to the position that they were able to get to. It's not just even that CECC bid. They don't just get to go to Arlington, Texas in early May for the national tournament. They've got $500 as well in the prize pool. Listen, 2 other teams got to play today in the top 4. They didn't get no prize pool. They didn't get no bid to the CECC. Grand Canyon University could say, yeah, we earned that today.
All right, listen, production, I'm going to put you guys a little bit on your toes real quick here. Odds we can pull up a bracket graphic one more time to run through what we all just saw here to see how Boise took this win, because it was impressive. They did a whole lot here today. Oh, they're just too good. They're just on top of it. We know the scoreline in the finals. It was a 4-0, but on top of that, 3-0 over Utah State, 3-2 over Oregon, a nail-biter of a game number 5, and Boise run away with the win all the way to the grand finals, where, like we said, they sweep by GCU and take home the championship. They should not just be proud, they should be absolutely ecstatic. This really was fantastic. And, man, production, give it a round of applause for production as well, man. They've been on their stuff today.
They're on it. They've got every cam, every angle. Hey, they even got us during the games casted as well. You got to give a hand to the Esports U production team. They know what they're doing over there. No doubt about it. Come on, give a hand. They know what they're doing. Throw up the hands. Great job. Thank you, production, for the amazing angles. Updating the scoreboard, the bracket as soon as we need it. Incredible stuff to see from them. And GCU, yeah, it was a fight to get to the finals, no doubt. You saw it there in the bracket. They had to win best of 5s. They had to win in game 5 scenarios. They had to win when we weren't predicting them to win, Bass, and they still stood up to the test. You can't ask more for a team that made it all the way to the finals, get the bid at the national tournament. This is still a win for GCU.
This is a win all around, and honestly, every team that played here today should be proud of the performances that they put out. Again, a lot of people getting here on their own merit. They don't have the universities that have varsity teams. They are clubs trying to get here to prove themselves, to compete. It's not necessarily everybody, but the teams that did, we have to give you a round of applause as well. And again, thank you to everybody who allowed myself and Pyro to come here today. This is an incredible event for us to be at. We have had a blast the entire time through, man. First LAN of the year for me. I couldn't have asked for a better one.
Hey, same for me, man. Good to do it with you. No doubt about it. So Rocket League, hey, listen, we may have just saw that championship, but there's more action happening here on the Esports U broadcast. We've got not just Rocket League, but even games going on right now. Overwatch Grand Final coming up very soon. We got the Valorant as well, but there you have it, folks. The final look at the rosters that competed in this event today. Amazing to see all 11 teams come out to Boise State to compete here as well. It was a weird group format as well for group Group C, Grand Canyon and Oregon. We saw that upset there. Unfortunately, we did have to say goodbye to the JV team of Weber State and University of Arizona, who were not able to make it out of the group stage, but incredible efforts from teams that surprised us fast, like Weber State University. How about their performance?
Weber State, I feel like that's the #1 name I'm taking away from this. I already knew Boise were good. I already knew UCLA were good. I knew Oregon were good, and I knew GCU were good. I did not know Weber State had it like that. My goodness, upsetting their group, finding a way to the semifinals on top of that. They should be beyond proud of their performance, and I hope, again, as much as we are saying that, you know, Boise and GCU, yes, correct, find their bids to CECC and Arlington, there's still other chances for more teams. We got an LCQ around the corner. We got more regional leagues that need to wrap up, so we could be seeing some of these teams all over again, and I'd love to. Listen, my alma mater, even though I dropped out, I'll be fully transparent with this one, is Arizona. So I'd love to see these guys try again, see if maybe they can get some more momentum, and maybe try and build towards a bid towards CECC.
100%.
There are no guarantees, but at the same time, I'm just excited to see what's ahead here. Esports U have put on an incredible performance and incredible production, and I know they got more in store, not only just today, but in the future as well.
Yeah, so it's good reason to stick around and continue to catch out the competition that's going to be happening here. I mean, again, the storylines for me, like you said, you got to take away from Weber State University. If you ever see this team competing in a tournament, never count them out. It was their reverse sweep against UCLA, I believe, that was just incredible. And then they almost pulled it off against GCU as well. They took them to game number 5 and almost eked out the victory. I mean, those players are made up of incredible statures. You got Rivers, Nova, but Zest, what a player. He was my player of the day yesterday.
Yes.
But, hey, shout out GCU and Boise State especially. I don't know. Can you call out a player of the day for Boise here?
No, I want to say it's Zertho just because he was such an offensive animal, but at the same time, Instinct and Gil put in so much effort through every single one of those games. Again, especially in the Oregon versus Boise back and forth there, it really was a team effort every time that they did win. There was goals and assists from every single player. I'm still giving it to Zertho, though. I think it's too hard not to. He was so incredible the entire way. Listen, I'll be fully transparent. Zertho a homie now at this point. I'm a little bit biased, but at the same time, hey, listen, man, stats speak for themselves. This guy, let's just say, here, while we got the time, let me read off you guys the stats for Zertho throughout this series. And game 1, 1 goal, 1 assist. That is, in my opinion, the worst of his performances throughout this series. 4 goals the next game, 3 the next one, 2 the final. He literally just kept scoring multiple goals. It's incredible work from this entire team. But Zertho truly proved to us why he was saying, I am an animal on land. I will be the animal. I will be that player to watch. And I don't know if I can argue against it.
Because even if it's not on the stat sheet, we can say from testimonials that Zertho was just hounding the team on ways that you don't really add to the score tally or the stat sheet. Okay, he lived on his opponent's backboard this entire event, trying to get these weird angles on the shots that he did sport in the match against GCU. And when you have a player like that on your own backboard, you always have to have that in the back of your mind. It's such a disruption play just to position yourself there and try to go for those crazy angles, as well as the bumps, as well as the demos. Zertho did so much. I will tell you, though, there were quite a few games where Instinct, he had so many stats on the line, you couldn't fit it under the bar, under his name. It was just out of this world, his performance. What a spectacle play. Maybe that's what it takes to be our champions of today, though, Bass. Not being able to call out each and every player.
Yeah, you got to be as good as possible here. And honestly, well, they've earned their victory. Pyro, this is where you and I bow out. This is the end of our day. Thank you again to everybody who tuned in here for the Rocket League portion. My name is Oliver Bass, joined alongside by Pyro J. I've got the stage. Shout out to my girlfriend Cass. I know she's watching at home. And shout out to you guys, the viewers, because now you get the final tree. Let's throw over to Paulie. Crown our victors here as Boise State will hoist their trophy. Congratulations, Paulie. Take it away.
Well, before that, we are here with Grand Canyon University. Make some noise for Grand Canyon. That was a well-fought series. Wilds, take us through that series a little bit in your mind.
It was a good series all around. We wanted Boise. They played really well. I mean, Boise's a really good team. They're top of half of CRL right now. They're a great team. Zertho, Instinct, and all really good players on that team. There's nothing wrong with them.
All right, you heard it from Wilds near now. Latumos right there. You know, you wind up falling there. You do qualify, however, for Arlington, so you will be going to our grand final major event. But how overall was the CECC West Regional, in your opinion?
It was a lot of fun, great competition, high stakes, but at the end, we pulled it out, made it to Arlington, and I guess that's all that matters. So.
Absolutely, should be proud here. Nando, let's have you come over here for a second. Nando, you played here on the grand stage at Boise against the home crowd at Boise. You know, what was it like competing and trying to walk away with that W? You started getting some steam at points, but Boise just so tough fundamentally here in this one.
You know, it's fun all around. I love the whole event. It's pretty fun around. You gotta love our GCU supporters, our Valorant team. You gotta respect it to them. They're really supportive throughout the whole game. You know, we wish we could have won this out, but I guess we just have to play for Arlington now. We just gotta get better.
All right, you have plenty of time. Come down here, sir. I'd like you to introduce yourself to the crowd.
Yes, I'm Jay. I'm the director of esports at Grand Canyon University. My voice is a little hoarse because he's had some matches today. But, yeah, really proud of our guys. We came here to compete against ourselves, and we knew that we were going to be sending one, if not two teams to Arlington. So we're really proud of our boys to be doing that this weekend. We're going to take the positive. We're going to leave the negative. We're going to focus on Arlington.
Jay, you're going to Arlington. All GCU's going to Arlington. So before we get Boise over here, let's make noise one more time for GCU. They'll be joining us down in Texas at Arlington May 4th to 6th. So GCU, congratulations. Now let's bring up Boise, the tournament victors here. Well done. Congratulations, Jay. Your team played phenomenal. Well done, GCU. All right, let's bring up Boise now. Well done, Boise. Let's make some noise for Boise, who wound up taking home the Rocket League. Come on in. All right, Doc, I see you fighting to the mic. I see it. Okay. All right, Doc, give us a little spiel here. Tell us, you were rooting nonstop for Boise. You were coaching, in between. You were doing amazing. Take us through that match right there.
No, this is a process that they showed this group what it is on stage. The process is to play the game that's in front of you and to make adjustments as you go, to trust your teammates, to constantly give good information and act on it. And that's the process. Whether this was for a trophy or on a Tuesday night sweaty scrim, the process is the same, and they did their jobs. It was fantastic.
Absolutely. Well done, Boise. Dirtho right here. You had an amazing game. You were just hitting shots, snipes from all different angles off the walls. Take us through this game, Dirtho. You were just locked in from start to finish.
Not only was I locked in, but my teammates were locked in as well. With a great foundation behind me, honestly, it couldn't be more easier to do what I want. So I give big thanks to my teammates.
All right, well done. Always got to put on for the team. Gil, how overall here? Let Gil come down here for a second, please. Gil as well, right here, part of the winning team. You said that the key going into the semifinals or going into the finals was to stay composed, keep the team energy high. Did you do that and execute on that there with an impressive win?
I think we did that and we exceeded. That's kind of how you get a performance like that against a really good team. Just amazing teammates. I wasn't having my best day, but, when I can just sit back and watch them put the ball in the net, it's like the best feeling ever.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. That was fantastic. Let's go down here as well. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. All right, Doc, you're pushy. But let's bring over here the Idaho Army National Guard to present the winning trophy of Rocket League to Boise State Esports. Let's make some noise. Accompanying them is COO Ray Katz from CSMG and Esports Executive Angela Bernard-Thomas. Well done. The Esports U CSMG staff here, the Idaho Army National Guard. Congratulations to Boise State Esports. They'll be joining us in Arlington as well for the CECC. Well done. Congratulations. All right, everybody. Well, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we have more college esports action, and I believe we're going to some Overwatch 2 Grand Finals. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, more CECC when we return. Commissioner's Cup. Let's make some noise. Oh, and it's gonna
jumped into it. Corner judges go for 1, 2, yeah, he needs more. And they're doing even more here.
You gotta touch the point. Mr. Collins walks it in. Toy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
Welcome, everyone, to the CECC West Regional Qualifier at the Boise State Esports Arena. Yesterday, we witnessed 32 teams represent the best in the West as they competed for their spots in the Collegiate Esports Commissioner's Cup. In Overwatch, we opened with San Diego Navy taking on University of Utah. And today, we're going to be able to close out Overwatch in the Grand Finals with San Diego Gold Squad taking on the Broncos. I am Artie Rain, Nerdy Bird, and alongside me on desk is the one and only Septilence.
Yes, Nerdy, we are super excited to be jumping into this, and everybody, viewers in person at home, if you will join me for just a moment, we're going to take a very quick journey and jump all the way back to yesterday morning, where we started with 8 teams, and throughout this weekend, we got to experience the highest highs and the lowest lows for a lot of these teams. So I have one question and one question only. Who is excited to see our grand finalists, UC, SDG, and Boise? Let's make some noise. Can we get some noise for our grand finalist teams? I actually can't hear you guys, so I'm going to hope somebody screams, and if not, I'll scream myself. There we go. Let's go, people. I scream for a living. You can scream a bit to celebrate these teams, because this is going to be a great best-of-5 series. And Nerdy, what a great one to do it. We go into this weekend. We've got Boise, the home team, making it far in every single event we've had, and now they come in grand finals looking to take home a second trophy today. This trophy today.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, yesterday you asked me if there's any teams to look out for. I mean, we were bidding on Hawaii. We got the upset off screen, which made us both very sad. But one team I did say to look out for was San Diego in particular, because in the qualifiers for this LAN, they actually beat the Broncos, and now this is the time. Are the Broncos going to step up to the plate and take them down, or is San Diego walking away with the victory?
Yeah, and something I found out just literally a couple minutes ago, I thought Boise was #1 seed. San Diego is #1 seed. Boise is #2 seed. So this is a really fascinating situation. Boise, one of the best teams in the country. We talk about that all the time. I haven't been able to experience San Diego as much because I live on the East Coast. So I don't spend a lot of time with the West Coast teams, except for teams like Boise that I work with very often. But this is a super exciting time. These teams are putting it all on the line. Both of them a 3-0 victory in semis to make it here. University of San Diego takes down UNLV Crusaders, and Boise takes down Utah. Now they go head-to-head, and like you said, this story's been written once, but Boise heard that song before and did not like the ending, so they'd like to give us a different narrative here today.
Yeah, and not to mention, they were called out in our post-game interview after semis to take this seriously, come to bat. We're going to see some duels. We're going to see some tank one-on-ones, and it's going to be no holds barred, bringing it down. Can the Broncos step up to the plate, or will the Tridents walk away with the trophy today?
There's part of me that continues to find it insanely funny San Diego cannot find the camera. Like, one of them has found it, 4 of them are completely unsure where it is, but it is funny regardless. These players putting their game faces on, going in. I know that map #1 is going to be Ilios, as it was earlier today. That is the map of the day, one we're sticking to, and it's going to be fascinating because both teams have played that map today. They've got the warm-up. They beat their opponent on it, clearly 3-0 victory to get here, and going into it, these wins not going to be as easy as the ones they brought this morning.
No, and they have to bring their A game. They have to shake
They gotta
things
bring their
up.
S game.
Yes, that's true. They need to shake things up as we hop into Ilios. But first, we're going to take a quick look at the rosters. Who's here to game? Who's representing their schools?
Yeah, we've got Frosted, Zinnia, Paco, Hinged, and Mine. And while this entire roster has been phenomenal the entire weekend, Nerdy, I think you and I can agree there was a spotlight on one person on this team, and it's the man right in the middle himself. Paco, the tracer extraordinaire from earlier today. He is a player we are keeping a close eye on. And a big part of that reason, a big reason we are keeping a close eye on him is because of the opponents on the side of Boise. This is going to be a DPS duel through and through.
Can't argue with you there. And for the Broncos, we have Clear, Matt Merck, Plato, Chosen, and Bagel to round out our roster here to take on the Tridents in this championship match. Will Clear be able to go toe-to-toe on the Tracer duel, or will one of them walk away with their head hung low?
Somebody's got to walk away with a loss, and it's going to be fascinating to find out who it is, because we're looking at Paco versus Clear, and I'm going to keep pushing that narrative because I think a huge part of the reason they've both made it to Grand Finals is because of those solo players, those DPS players. Clear, a 4-man pulse bomb yesterday, a 180 pulse bomb from Paco today that turned into a 4K with the pistols afterwards. These Tracers have been crazy, and now because, of course, I'm excited to see a Tracer, we're probably not going to get any, but we'll get there when we get there, right? I know that this is going to be an intense matchup. The DPS line is what I'm looking for, but the tanks, they come in with an insane amount to prove. Frosted had a phenomenal morning, got an incredible
incredible primal, but Matt Merck yesterday, one of the most popular clips on the Esports U channel right now, is that insane Circuit Royale juggle where Matt Merck finds 3 before touching the ground. It's something we never see, and if we get the Winston v. Winston, these tanks have to lead the charge.
Well, we'll have to see if they choose to go with the Winston picks or if they're going to go with something a little bit more creative and out of pocket, so to speak. I mean, during the qualifiers for this lane, we did see Frosted go up against Clear on tank, actually, and they both decided to go with the Ramatras. But since the changes, since the nerfs, it is now going to be up to who they think they're going to find the most success on. Maybe not Roadhog, but the rest of the tanks, fair game. We saw Frosted absolutely dominate on D.Va earlier today.
Yeah.
Can Matt Merck do the same? Let's see which tanks, what lineups and characters, the heroes that come out of these doors as they drop. We do see a Winston Overwatch as well as a Kiriko on one squad for sure. And the Sim TP out the gate from the Broncos. Are they gonna beat the side of UCSD to the point?
We've got Boise loud and proud in the stadium here with us today, and UCSD Gold getting a little bit of a different composition, a mirror matchup, except we're looking at Tracer versus Reaper. Clear trying to make a little bit of noise here on this Reaper in Boise State. They're gonna be very grateful for that damage if they can take this Frosted down early. It's a slow battle for the point. Nobody wants to be the first to make that mistake because the first domino to fall brings down the entire house. And right now, neither team wants to lose this first point cap. But Zania is out of here. Plato wins it. Frosted gets betrayed, and now both Sojourns have been removed from the fray. It's up to this Tracer and this Reaper to clean things up early and to find their opportunities. Matt Merck down and out. Frosted not far behind. We're now in a 3v3. No Winstons, no Sojourns. It's up to the remaining members to win it. And Clear finds a double. He takes down Paco, and he is giving the opportunity for Boise to come out swinging.
That is now 10% of that point locked down towards the Broncos, and Clear is at almost 70% for our Death Blossom here, which can be an absolute game changer. Let's see what happens if we have Zinnia swapping over towards the Reaper as well. Paco's not going to get that Tracer duel, but we'll have to see which Reaper comes out on top of this next engage.
Going into this next engagement, we're going to be looking at Frosted. You can't go down too early, especially as another Winston lands directly on top of you. With a pulse bomb in pocket, Paco not able to find anything. It is out the window, but let's jump over to Clear, who now has that Death Blossom online. I want to keep an eye on this, and an eye on that Reaper, because Clear is here! It is the Grim Reaper of Collegiate, all over again! Boise State coming out strong, Clear cleaning up the team, and Boise halfway done with point number 1.
Only spending one ultimate, and UCSD has both support ult online. Broncos very close, but Matt Merck and Frosted both tied for that Primal Rage. Who's going to get the better juggle? Who's possibly going to find an environmental on the coastline of this map? That is my question here. Both most likely to be pops. We have the engage from Frosted. Bagel backing off, has that beat. Reaper's forced Wraith. Now is the time to engage as we see Kitsune rush, but Mine and Zinnia go down to Plato, and the Broncos are pushing in, egressing into that back line.
Oh my
Frosted
God!
goes down, and Plato's hiding in the bushes to just snipe down the players for UCSD.
Plato's newest philosophy, get off of my point. This one belongs to Boise State. An incredible performance, doesn't even need the overclock to make it work. And now with 2 ultimates still in pocket, a third just around the corner, UCSD Gold has one and only one ultimate to try and make this work. Frosted's Primal Rage. These rages have been flawless so far this weekend, and he's got to do it just one more time.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the CECC West Regional Qualifier, and we are getting ready for Grand Finals. We're finally here on Championship Sunday, and this should be a fun one. The duel of California schools here. Sacramento State going up against our number 1 seed, the University of California Riverside Highlanders.
So UC Riverside has been pushed to the brink once. I believe Weber State got them down to 1 stock before in the off-screen semifinals. However, yesterday on another off-screen match, we saw Sacramento State get this close, down to last stock, last hit with UC Riverside. This time, Sacramento State is looking to repeat that magic, earn their spot in the Texas Finals, but UC Riverside is not going to make it easy. They won that last stock situation, and they are looking to do the exact same thing again this time.
UC Riverside have looked so strong here. While they've been pushed to the brink a couple of times, they have always come up clutch. And every single one of their players throughout this weekend has really kind of had their star moment. Zane in particular has been an MVP for this squad. Back-to-back 6 stocks, back-to-back 3 stocks against numerous players for the side of Riverside. He has been fantastic, and he wasn't originally even on the starting lineup. Players like Saru were able to close out a couple of sets. Koyuma Knight has been the leadoff man a couple of times for UC, and his Incineroar has been fantastic. And then Mind, we've seen on a couple different characters, has also closed out some series and helped the Highlanders earn this #1 overall seeding.
Yeah, there have been a lot of heavy hitters, and we just saw Sacramento State University, but just in case you didn't quite catch that match, they have a roster of killers as well. Schleim, Jamar, Soro, and Ritu. And, well, Jamar and Sora were the highlight players to watch, but we're not sure who's going to be starting out as the game is just about ready to get underway. Schleim and Rito did not get a lot of chances to really pop off just because Sora was running through rosters. Jamar, actually, when these two schools played earlier, it was actually Jamar that UC Riverside called out as the player. They were like, oh, we were not fully ready for that Luigi. So I'm curious to see if UC Riverside is more adapted to them this time in this rematch to see who is qualifying for CECC in Austin.
Empty's going to get the start here for the side of UC Riverside on the Greninja. We got to interview him a couple of times. He did not play yesterday, but he was very aware of how his teammates were performing. For the side of Sacramento State, they're leading off with Sora, the player who's been playing the hottest, gets the starting call for the opener here of Grand Finals. PS2, obviously the stage selection. And so far, pretty even through the first 30 seconds or so, as only 43 to 27 is that percent count. But Sora kind of mixing up some of their options, some of their pacing that they've gone for in the past, usually kind of quickly cycling through all of those projectiles, but this time around only opting for maybe 1 or 2 hits and then working away.
The drag down extension, but Empty isn't able to get the finisher. Sora gets an intelligent tech right there. No tech this time though, but a get up attack. That means Empty is in the disadvantage. But again, these quick retaliatory options from Empty every single time. Finally, a forward smash will finish off Sora's first stock, and this is Sora at a deficit. If you saw that last match, this is shocking.
Sora was playing on fire in the previous couple of sets, but right now getting shut down so far. Only 63% on Empty means that they're not really at kill percent for another good, I'd say 20 or roughly 20% or so, but quickly it gets racked up, and there it is. Now you got to be very careful. They throw out the counter. They're going to get jabbed off stage once more. Empty now at 106 here. So we're going to have to use a Thunder, and they get laddered up off the top. Empty jumping right into the clouds, and now they're down 1 more stock here. Sora able to up the back to stage here, and they'll find their opening back on to even up that percent count as well off the back of it. So very even between these two to start off this day.
Yes, it is, but Sora managed to evade that kill confirm right there. No extension whatsoever. Empty playing around this grounded game, knowing that on the ground their speed is far superior than anything Sora can put out. Air dodges away from that forward air, but Empty is ready with the coverage, gets the rapid jab, and now they have an edge trap situation. Goes all the way back to use the shuriken and dashes in for a down tilt, but Sora gets around it, and now they have the Nair loops going. Can they find the finisher there? No. Just a couple of hits, but that side being very optimistic. Sora gets a punish there, but after Empty weaves right through the Thunder, it's just another forward smash from Sora.
Now they've got the Thunder online here. They've been using these first hit nairs into follow-ups creatively. They have not been able to find that killing blow quite yet. They get the timing on the freeze again. Once that player is frozen, they are as good as dead against Sora. They do not mess up that timing at all. They have not today, and they are able to get that second stock on the board thanks to the up B. So now Empty onto their last stock here, but Sora is at kill percent here. The question is, how does Empty get to that point where they can land that kill confirm, land that next stock, and get back to even? Because right now, Sora is starting to chip away at stock number 3.
as you can see there, down tilt up forward air doesn't even really work anymore, much less down air up smash. They've got to find something meatier, and that's kind of scary. Greninja lives and dies off those down air kill confirms, so raw forward air is Empty's only option to finish off the stock right there, but Sora not out of the woodworks yet.
The dash attack can be landed here at the early percents, but Sora gonna land an up smash anyway, just going for it, even though it was all hitting shield. They get the counter as well to knock Empty back here. Nair in to a back air. Empty plays patient here, waiting for a defensive option. They wait out the counter, and they read the air dodge. They're gonna get the stock off the back of it, and it's Sacramento State to strike first via Sora's up smash.
Great awareness right there, understanding that all Empty wants to do is get on out of that combo and not even bothering to finish it. By dropping the combo, they give Empty the opportunity to throw out a defensive option, and if you have the correct read on that defensive option, as we just saw from Sora right there, you can put in major damage or just secure an early kill.
Great adaptation from Sora in that set. That looked like it was about to start running away from him as that stock number 2, he was down a full almost nearly 100%, brought it all back and got that second stock off the board. And then stock number 3 took a lot for Empty, I feel like, to find that forward air, but they're eventually able to do so. But the reads that Sora has on a couple of these players, I was saying this about Seasoned from Boise State, right? Felt like Seasoned had some solid reads, but wasn't willing to go the full extra mile on a couple of those plays. Sora, it feels like that is a similar case, but they are pushing that extra limit, going to that extra advantage state, and they're able to get so much more mileage off the back of it here. Still a very, very close duel, and where we saw Boise State struggle to take more than a stock off of Sora, Empty taking 2 is already put Sora on their last stock. It's a very good sign for Riverside to keep this close.
Yes, it is. You needed a win here, because if Sora went down early, I'll be honest, as much as I love the rest of Sac State, I'm not sure how they handle with everything. But if Sora can get another stock here, another 2 stocks, then all of a sudden we have a scenario where Sacramento State has a fairly substantial lead, and they can make up for the fact that UC Riverside has been just kind of running through everyone. Honestly, we know the score of that off-screen game the other day, but I almost wish we could know how the players fared against each other, because that's what really matters here in the Grand Finals. The grand team dynamics, of course, they're very important. Strategy is important in player selection, stage selection. However, even though this is a counterpicker's game, we need to know what the options are that have already been tried for those counterpicks.
Yeah, it's very difficult to know going in. Obviously, like we mentioned, that match played off stream. We didn't get to see the results of it in that opening round to start off the day. Sacramento State versus UC Riverside was round 1 matchup, and it went down to the wire, down to that last stock. So curious to see, what players went in, what character matchups were like. Both of these teams know those results, but we don't. We didn't get to see that. So curious to see where UC Riverside, the Highlanders, go from here. Again, from what we've seen of their lineup in the past, if you look at the players that we saw yesterday, we saw Zane on the Wii Fit step in multiple times. We saw Mine step in, Koyuma Knight on that Incineroar. But this time around, we see Pit being locked in, which unless this is a name change of some sort, we haven't seen someone from the side of UC Riverside lock in this character this weekend so far. And it's going to be Saru, the Donkey Kong that we saw yesterday.
Now, the thing that made Saru very distinguishable, in my eyes, was their willingness to go for that instant kill with the dash like forward air, showing awareness in how to end stocks really early. So my question here is, do you have that ability on Pit? With Pit, it can be a little more difficult, as like you just saw there, not all of his extensions are quite 100% true. Sora is very clearly aware of that too, but Saru can use that to their advantage.
So far dashing away here on Smashville. Nair gonna interrupt any kind of approach from Sora for the moment. Sora's spacing has also been very strong today. That time the mash out a little bit faster than anticipated. First time he's really not been able to convert off of the freeze. But that was one of the keys for Sora. We mentioned on that Donkey Kong, his mash out of things like Barry and the ability to get out of those tricky situations thanks to that fast mash and throw off the timing. So Saru's going to have to be a little bit more careful this time around if he gets those setups. This is a ledge regrab, and Saru knew it. Went for the down air spike. It did not get the timing right. Gets hit by the second up B, and Sora just pulls the trigger on it and catches Saru jumping. Down goes Saru's first stock.
So Saru intelligently does not chase Sora all the way down. Instead, they choose to fight around the central platform. Tech chase right here. Can Saru get an extension? No, not this time, as that Sonic Blade does just scoop Sora right on out of there. Not have to worry about being in enemy territory for too long, as Saru is just keeping Sora at the ledge.
Sora partially, I think, keeping themselves at the ledge as well because of how passive they're playing right now. They're really trying to get the extra mile out of this last stock that they have. Forward throw off stage, though, going to make things difficult. Arrows starting to track them down. Up B has to be used. They'll be able to side B back to the ledge here. Saru looking for the grab. Does not find it. Sora's back to center stage here. At 127, they're playing so very carefully, but it feels like one strong hit from Saru should do the trick. That being said, Sora still working on the stock, starting to get some chip damage, gets the back air. Thunders aren't going to land thanks to that down B used by Saru, but they fight through with the side B. Hadn't used it all game, kept it in their back pocket, and they lock down Sora with it. Saru's eliminated one member of the Hornets.
When you know you have an X factor like that, you need to be very careful about when you use it, because the second you use it, a good player like Sora is never going to fall for the same trick twice, you know? Like, think back to that counter on Banjo-Kazooie's Wonder Wing. That is an X factor that you can only use once, realistically. Saru knew that as soon as they pulled out that side B, it was going to work once and then never again. So they waited until they had Sora in just the right position and then finally pulled the trigger.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, it's interesting to see Saru on a different character here, but dropping that extra stock means that University of Sacramento State, they will have the lead headed into this next match. This is, again, a best-of-3 crew battle here with 4 players apiece. Saru seemed like they had a pretty solid idea of what they wanted to do. Like you mentioned, held on to that side B for so long and then eventually unveiled it as their trump card right when Sora kind of felt like they were safe. But also we saw some interesting plays like the defensive awareness of things like the down B against Thunder were really interesting to see, right? Using down B back to back in the air, where most players, even we saw Empty, get laddered off the top via that Thunder in the first place. So Saru feels like they've got a very solid grasp of this character and a solid understanding of what they need to do in terms of how to, get some early damage and lock down a stock. The question is, can they continue that moving forward here? Because we've talked about it. University of Sacramento State, they've got a couple of players on the squad that can be very dangerous when you give them an opening, like perchance or per se, Jamar being locked in here on the Luigi.
Couple factors right here. Number one, if Saru is in an edge guarding situation or edge guarded situation, Jamar can drop down that Zaire, that plunger, to interrupt the recovery with a lingering hitbox, and maybe even convert that into even more damage. However, Saru can also get very aggressive with their arrows off stage. How are they going to handle this? They're able to DI behind Jamar right there. No follow-up on that 0 to death.
Good play there from Saru to get out of that combo. Jamar going to get a dash attack here and catch Saru jumping. They don't go for the Zaire this time around. They just opt for runoff down air, and that's something that we saw from Jamar in that set against Boise State, was their ability to, or at least their agency. Jamar wants these early stocks. They want to see how big of an early lead they can get. So I would not be surprised to see them get more and more aggressive here on stock number 1. And they're just going to find a forward smash outright, catching Saru rolling from ledge. So down goes Saru's second stock. Jamar, good Last second fade there on that air dodge. They nearly get dragged down by the Nair, but they're still able to survive. Another grab, down air, Nair fading away, and they recognize it, and they get the read off the back of it. Up and goodbye, Saru. Jamar's held in all 3 stocks.
Jamar holding on strong right there, and that perfect adaptation. Think back to the first 0-to-death attempt we saw on the beginning of Stock 1. Saru managed to SDI and DI behind Jamar and escape through that route. Why would you break it? Why would you change it? If you did what you did work before, why wouldn't you do it again? But Jamar was ready this time, demonstrating why you don't pick the same defensive option twice. Because after Saru managed to finagle their way all the way behind, that was when Jamar just ran across the entire stage, caught the air dodge, and got the up B. Beautiful stuff right there from Jamar, showing why UC Riverside specifically called out Jamar after their previous match with Sacramento State.
And remember, too, even the series last time against Boise State, I believe it was Laydog, also did that same game plan of just holding out, holding away, specifically towards that left side of the stage. And so Jamar wasn't able to get those 0-to-death combos that we know Luigi is capable of doing. And I think Jamar just said, I'm tired of people holding left on me. I'm going to see where they go from here. And the reaction, right? To not only recognize, hey, they're holding out, I get this back air, but then to say, all right, that's not the end of the combo. Watch this. Continues to run forward. And I believe they caught a roll there, which is why they ended up so far to the left. But the call out of those up Bs, I called it out. Jamar wants these stocks. He is out for blood early. So he is not afraid to go for the things like that up B that you saw. And even if it doesn't land, right, just the fear has been kind of installed now on the side of UC Riverside going, oh no, he's got the download maybe, but here we go, something a little bit different this time around. The Luigi Ditto, I believe this is Mind stepping into the ring here for the side of the Highlanders. The Luigi Ditto is not something you frequently see.
Fighting green fire with green fire right here, as Mind, well, literally is fighting green fire with green fire. But the initial opening does go towards Jamar, who has Mind pinned at the ledge. Pressure right there, but Mind goes right over above it. But even when they gain stage advantage, Jamar is still applying the pressure.
Gotta be very careful here. Mind throwing out that grab, it's not gonna land quite yet. Good combo game here. Looking like Mario with all these up airs. They're gonna get the grab as well, but the fireball interrupts it. So Jamar will escape that tricky situation. But the up smash is just going to connect, and down goes Jamar. What a catch that was on the up smash.
I think there was a tilt that was thrown out or something that shifted Jamar's hitbox into that, as now Mind has a 0-to-death of their own, catches them flying forward, and that's the second stock obliterated from Jamar. Mind on a roll.
Huge play there from Mind. The way Jamar was playing, this player looked so dangerous. A trade comes through and knocks Mind away. Jamar's got to come up with something here to slow down the momentum of this player, because Mind right now is on a tear. 99% surviving and air dodging back to the platform as well. Jamar trying to track down the movement here. Gets zared and then dash attacked off stage once more. Jamar cannot find a way back on. They get hit by 2 aerials. Their side being off stage, low recovery gets caught once more. Another up B. They don't have a whole lot of drift, but the misfire comes through and Mind goes down. What a string of a sequence. Who could have predicted the misfire coming through, and Jamar gets a second chance at life.
Jamar, it may not last too long, but the Zaire doesn't connect, and now Jamar has its opportunity to land on stage, but they get grabbed again. Down throw into the Cyclone. That's going to be the finisher right there, and Mind is able to stop Jamar from running through UC Riverside. It looked like it was a real possibility, but at the end of the day, Jamar is stopped in their tracks by a mirror, more or less. That was frankly a silly game. However, it started off really, really even. It looked like Jamar had the massive advantage, and then one momentum swing happened. Mind got a little bit ahead, and now all of a sudden, look at this. 5 stocks to 6. UC Riverside a little behind, but they have the momentum. and I want to see how Sacramento State answers.
Yeah, and for Sacramento State, we've talked about it. Sora and Jamar have been the MVP for performers because of how well they've played. In Sacramento State's wins, these are the two players taking most of the stocks. These are the most explosive players on the team. Now we get to truly see the depth of Sacramento State tested, right? Rito has been good, solidly taking roughly 3, maybe 4 stocks per series, and same with Schleim. But they, rarely get to take anymore because by the time they do so, the game is over. The series is done. They were closers in the past couple of series for this squad. So now we get to see what the plan is going up against Mind. Now, in theory here, they've got some experience going up against this Luigi, but when it comes down to Jamar versus Mind, I think Mind, the fact that you mentioned it, seemed very even off the start, but the fact that Mind was the first one to really get that first opening is a big difference maker, because Jamar feels, again, very aggressive, feels like they want those early kills, feels like they're out for blood early, whereas Mind, I think that presence of Mind to play a little bit more patient, wait for Jamar to go for something a little more overextended, and then punish them for it is going to be a big difference maker, knowing that University of Sac State, they are a little more prone to, I have to make sure I don't make this early mistake because Jamar wants those early kills.
Now, one aspect that we can't overlook is the fact that University of Sac State has a very good Luigi practice partner in Jamar. And so we can't say that none of these players are inexperienced in the matchup. But as Mind demonstrated, there is a very sizable difference between the two. So I'm curious to see if that experience does pay off, or if Schleim is going to meet the same fate as Jamar.
On the Villager once again. This Villager was the Villager that closed out that last series against Boise State. And Schleim, prone to a more passive game, right? Just chip away with these projectiles, throw out the Lloyd rockets, and then eventually set up those traps. Things like planting the tree and then waiting until the last moments to water it, to have it grow. But what a huge opportunity whiffed on there by Mind. Schleim able to get out of the combo there and save themselves a ton of percent. They get a grab, but the mash out from this team, UC Riverside, is just never in stasis for all that long. They continue to find ways to mash out of every grab or freeze that Sac State get.
They do, lands right on the Lloyd rocket, which gives Mind an opening right here. Now all of a sudden an opportunity for Mind to close the trap right here as they linger off stage waiting for their opportunity, and they hit them away once again. One balloon this time, and now can they make it back? No opportunity. They footstool them just for the heck of it, but there's nothing that Schleim can do to get back to stage. Mind showing a textbook Villager recovery right there. It might take long, but it is possible.
Schleim dropping their first stock there. Well done by Mind. They're at 120 right now. Schleim, how do they get this kill? Naring around the shield, trying to catch Mind jumping out of that shield. They throw the bowling ball down. Does not land there. Somehow, Mind, despite that very vertical recovery, does not get caught. Air dodge back. That's a couple times that we've seen Schleim go for that trap as well. The Lloyd rocket into a grab, just to try and up that percentage. Fireball sent back, but still not enough to really gain a true advantage from. Use the watering can, but it's the wrong way, so the tree does not grow quite yet. Dash attack gonna land. Mind. Tornadoes. Low recovery once more. Tree still not gonna be able to help cover Schleim in that instance. So they'll have to reset that game plan. And oh my, Mind got the down tilt I think they were looking for, but they were just set too far away, and they don't get the follow-up off the back of it, and Schleim is able to put Mind in their last stop.
Frankly, fascinating interactions right there. First of all, the tree not growing was confusing, but now Mind is going to try to finish off the stock. But again, the fact that Villager has such a small, floaty, slippery hitbox means that a lot of Mind's confirms just aren't working the way they hope.
There's a grab. Oh, they go for the back air. I thought the tornado was going to come through, but Mind reads Schleim on the DI there. And all of a sudden, they get a grab at low percent. Down air, nair, down air, up air.
Forward.
Oh, they got the up B, but they didn't get it.
no big punish right there either. Shime just wants to keep it even, keep it simple, wants to hold on to this lead as long as they can, as these two teams are tied 100% in stocks right now. Whoever wins this right here will have the advantage. This one stock decides who's on their last player and who isn't, as rolling back on. Shime throws at the Lloyd Rocket, comes back down with the Nair, though a lot of trades right here. I feel like down throw into Luigi Tornado at this point will actually finish off the stock, but you need to get that throw first, and they're making themselves so elusive.
So difficult to track down. Another Lloyd Rocket, Nair landing, and now you gotta feel like at these percents, the next strong hit should do it, especially with that rage starting to build up. There's the tornado. Is it enough? Yes, it is from center stage. They catch Slime landing, and UC Riverside have their first lead of Grand Finals.
This is looking dire right here. The fact that we know Mind can just obliterate a stock in an instant means that, well, this one stock from Mind is more threatening than most one stock players we'd see in this league. I mean, any explosive character who can touch of death you, or cheese you out at 30%, or find a setup, find a kill confirm that you would never see coming, any characters like that are so powerful in crew battle settings like this, because when people go in against one stock, their defenses are down just a tiny bit, and you need to be able to compensate for that mentally and in your gameplay.
And here is the real double-edged sword for University of California, Sacramento State. Their last player is Rito, the Bowser player. That is a big hitbox for Mind to potentially exploit. On the flip side, you could potentially take this stock very quickly for Rito, but it's not going to be easy. Mind is going to have the advantage at those early portions of the game, and the fact that Luigi, like you said, can get those 0 deaths, a big body makes it even easier to land that up B. This is such a tricky situation for Rito to navigate.
Yeah, high pressure as well, because you want to be playing very uninteractive. Like, you don't want to be in a range where this could even be a factor. Now, I do know that I'm fairly certain that Mind has to do a different variation of the combo due to Bowser's characteristics having way less hit stun at lower percent. However, I have to assume Mind is experienced. Bowser not only is one of the more common characters you run into, but in general, I can't imagine a player of Mind's caliber would not be ready, would not be poised to finish this off for UC Riverside. So we'll see what Rito elects to go with. The Falco is also an option. I would not recommend it. I think the Bowser is the play here. I can't see a reason why the Falco would come out. What Falco can do that Bowser can't. So we'll see, though. We'll see. Yeah.
It is the Bowser getting locked in. I was thinking maybe if they're confident they can take the stock off of Mind with the Falco, the Reflector might be good for potentially Zane waiting in the wings of UC Riverside. But the Bowser has been Rito's tried and true. They've gotten the best results on this Bowser this tournament. And we'll see if they're able to do so once again here and shut down Mind. Get to that fourth and final member of the Highlanders. Small battlefield to stage selection. Mind on one stock, Rito with 3. We're underway.
Immediate grab, and this is already not looking great. Following them across the stage, knocks them up but can't get the midair, and now just a Bowser bomb. No big follow-up right here, not going for the Nair, but I don't blame them. You want this consistent damage. Here at high rage is where Bowser thrives. Flame Breath runs out, and it's not angled correctly either. They let the grab release. That almost looked purposeful.
Yeah, no throw. They could have done something. They get the Nair. This is a side B. Not enough to take the stock quite yet. It's going to take maybe another hit or two. They use these neutral Bs again to kind of force Mind away to these low recoveries. Another command grab on the platform. Still not enough damage quite yet. Only at 126 now, 137. This next hit should be enough. And they're able to find the down tilt, and they clean up Mind's last stock. They hold on and survive, and they get to see that fourth and final member of UC Riverside.
Even game right now, going into the last game of the first match of the Grand Finals. Now, whoever wins this game, 3 stocks versus 3 stocks, will go up 1-0. That means they're on match point. They only have to win one more match, one more crew battle to become our qualifying team for the CECC Grand Finals later this year in Austin, Texas.
And that pressure right now, I think, is starting to set in for both of these schools. They've played so well all weekend long. They've had a couple of close games here and there, but these two schools, these 8 players have played so well. And now we get to see in this moment, this opening match means so much. To have that extra advantage, to have that kind of leeway headed into set number 2 for these two schools can really make the difference. It gives you that extra bit of confidence saying we've done it before, we can do it again. But also, we've seen both of these schools, both of these players make adjustments throughout their game style. Sora in particular, changing up their game style by the flick of a switch, right? Jamar, going aggressive, making plays. Rito is going to have to find another gear here to go up against UC Riverside. That 4th and final member, likely Zane from what we've seen. But we've also mentioned the Highlanders have such a roster of depth. There's so many players they could opt to go for here. Zane has been the one that has been the standout player, and I assume he's the one waiting in the wings here.
I would assume as well, but we do know they have a massive roster, all of which they haven't even shown yet. I mean, I went through and I looked at the win percentages of all these players. Zane isn't even at the top. All of these players are frequently making top 8, top 4 in every single locals tournament they go to. And that in and of itself is a major achievement in a competitive region like California. Both of these California schools. So we'll see how all that experience does end up paying off. Based on what we've seen purely in the CECC, Zane is the pick 100%. We saw Empty shout out Zane previously, and I would be remiss if Zane didn't come out. However, looking at every single other person, there are so many strong contenders who very likely could do exactly what Zane could do, except even more unexpected. So we'll see who's coming to the bat right now. It is going to be Zane.
The Wii Fit versus the Bowser. 3 stocks apiece to decide who walks away with set number 1. On small battlefield we go. Even stock count, even game. Winner takes set 1. We are underway. Rito using that Flame Breath. Going to be important here. Rito makes very good use of that neutral B, finding great times to use it and finding great opportunities to land it and rack up and even out that percent count. Because again, the early game for Bowser can be really rough, especially against a player like Zane, who not only knows how to follow up off that Nair, but we are seeing time and time again landing those projectiles to chip away at stocks, but they're just going to land a forward smash outright with deep breathing. Rito at a very early deficit, only 15% Delta Zane.
Yeah, Zane just looping Rito around the stage, fishing for their falling Nair, yes, but they'll take a 1 neutral interaction in its stead, and that's crucial, very crucial, because that means they're not being caught up in trying to get their 1 big win condition, which is very good to see. However, making it very difficult. Falling Nair is punished right there by the up B out of shield. Up B out of shield, I feel like, is Rito's best friend in this matchup.
Using the Flame Breath to interrupt that soccer ball, and they catch the recovery as well. You mentioned that 2-frame, the forward tilt coming through just in time there. So Rito gets 1 back here. They are at 102%, but this is the critical part of playing characters like Bowser. You have to be able to survive at these high percentages. Back throw, gonna knock him off stage. Low recovery to get around the soccer ball, but they're just getting chipped away at from a distance. The soccer ball and the neutral B also coming through here. Nair lands, but Zane is just faster. His aerial beats out Rito, and Rito's down to their last stock.
Yeah, and already a grab into a tech chase. Rito's at 50%, and it keeps stacking up. The deep breathing being online for the beginning of that was brutal. As, follows up right there, down there into the Nair, 128% on their last stock, and they fall right into the forward smash. The Warriors pose is enough to put UC Riverside at an advantage. 2 stocks remaining right here as UC Riverside take the first point in the Grand Finals.
Seemed pretty close off the start, but Zane their control and their poise, ready to strike, catching Rito getting impatient, catching Rito overextending, and punishing them for it, not allowing the heavyweight to play their game and survive at these high rage percentages, not allowing any chance of a comeback there. Zane closing out this series, doing what he's done really all weekend long, not only getting those nair combos, but also just using those projectiles so well, knowing instantly what he wants and what he can get off of that neutral interaction. I get getting the hit of nair. Well, I've got aerials to combo off the back of it. Getting the soccer ball on the platform, I know instantly to dash over and go for an up smash. Stuff like that is just so clean from Zane, and it looks so smooth. It feels like it's almost practiced to a degree. It feels like they just have a very solid mastery of this character.
Yes, it does. Zane was countered in the beginning by the fact that, again, those nairs were not always coming off big. They were often being answered by an up B, but repeatedly we would see Rito not quite be able to get as big of a punish. And the thing is, Zane, I don't really feel like it hurt throwing out those options again and again and again. Because the reward that they would get was incredible. As it looks like we're already getting into the next match. Oh, Arlington, Texas, by the way, is where these teams are playing to qualify, as Esports Stadium Arlington is going to host, where one of these teams will be competing for the title of our national champion.
To get there, they got to qualify through this bracket, these two. Riverside, one set away. They got to find a way to win one more crew battle. Sac State has got to find a way to win the next two. But we're underway here at set number 2, like you mentioned. Empty, leading once again for the side of the Highlanders. But this time Rito is the first member in for the Hornets. And a bit of a character switch up again. Empty with Greninja game 1. Now for set number 2, they're going with the Palutena against Rito's Bowser.
And I'm glad we see Rito, because Rito was clearly playing hot in those sets. You want to use that momentum to its fullest effectiveness. You know all the other players are going to come in strong, but Rito's going to come in stronger. So that's exactly what they're going for right here. Empty, caught by the up BF shield. But at this present time, it looks like Rito will be living for now.
They go for the command grab, but they just whiffed on it. Couldn't quite get that spacing right. They get a grab here. Back throw. Not enough percent on Palutena to get that kill quite yet. Droppy back to the ledge, and Rito cleans up the stock with an up tilt. We've seen that a couple of times from Rito. They go for the down B. They wanted the shield break there. That could have meant so much for momentum, but instead they get back aired off the get up attack from ledge, and Empty is able to answer right back. Still an even game between these two California schools.
They get a 2-frame, and a buffered nair means Empty's demise, and Rito is a clean stock ahead of Rito.
Seemingly out of nowhere too. The flame breath, like you mentioned, catching Empty, and then the nair lasts too long, so they can't recover in time. Now Empty once again at a deficit here. How do they bring this back? They find a back air here. A little bit more damage. It got Rito up to a decently high percent, but this is a heavy, heavy Bowser. Neutral B's gonna land here. Empty, dashing in, looking for their one opening. They get a grab here. What can they do with it? Back throw, and that is it. Rito, the defense of this player, very strong right now, just not allowing for any clean openings. They're gonna find a forward air off the back of it. Rito holds onto this stock. That could be a huge momentum swing for the Hornets.
Yeah, Sac State, they want it bad, but Empty is not making it easy, especially if they finally get the 2-frame they've been looking for, follow it up perfectly. They were ready for that. Even though they haven't hit it once so far, all you need to do is hit it once to finish a stock. And Empty's back in this, but 111% against Bowser. One wrong move will be your end. The issue is Bowser does have a lot of trouble getting in.
But they find the command grab, and they get the platform too, and down goes Empty to the sky. Rito takes the opener of game number 2, of series number 2, I should say. Sacramento State getting off to another strong start like they did in that opening series, and Rito the one doing it this time around.
Previously, like you said, it was Sora who went to last stock against Empty. This time, though, we are seeing Rito take Sora's stead, showing that even though we consider Sora to be one of the highlight players, again, the rest of them are no slouches. They are absolutely dominant right here, as even in a last hit close scenario, they were able to demonstrate their effectiveness. And a lot of players have actually gone for this Palutena counter pick against Sora, and I'm curious as to exactly why they do it. I can understand, but this time didn't quite go Empty's way because they didn't get to play Sora.
And instead they got the Bowser of Rito, who, like you mentioned, had been playing hot, played very well in that last series, just kind of ran out of time against Zane. And this time around, they're able to get the win over Empty. They hold on to one more stock, so it's a similar lead to last time. And I have to wonder what UC Riverside does here now that Empty is off the board once again. We still have Zane and plenty of other players waiting in the wings. We didn't see Koyuma Knight in that opening series, so if they want to test the Incineroar, it would be an interesting kind of double-edged sword pick here against the Bowser, but it could be another potential mix-up in that lineup change that might be worth noting. We'll have to see where UC Riverside goes. And I think part of the reason they lead with Rito here as well is because they want to give players, I think, like Sora, the chance to counterpick UC Riverside because of that explosive nature of the way that they've been winning. But speaking of explosive, the Luigi's back in for UC Riverside. It's Mind looking to take down that final stock of Rito.
We saw Mind almost get a 0 to death on Rito last time. We saw it come so close, but they missed the aerial up B. One misinput, and Mind didn't get the stop. If they can get it this time, that would be crucial. And Mind seems like a fool me once type of person.
0% on Rito right now, and everyone knows about the Luigi 0 to death. Flame Breath landing, 54 on the Mind early here. Nair in, but they get grabbed. Down air, Nair, another down air, another Nair, another follow-up of the up air. This time they don't pull the trigger on that up B quite yet, but the combo's not done! They were not done! Hitting them around, ping-ponged off the ground and back, and down goes Rito. Mind cleans up the stock.
2 down airs in 1 full hop as a surprise extension to finish that off. And let's be honest, Rito was actionable during some of that. They were able to get one defensive option out, but Mind covered it perfectly. And because of that, we see a dead even game once again between UC Riverside and Sacramento State.
Mind taking care of business there, eliminating Rito here in set number 2. Very well done. And very similar, like you said, I completely agree. Rito was able to escape in series number 1 off of that potential 0 to death combo, missed one input, and paid the price for it. Rito was able to battle back. This time around, they were going to mix it up, change things up. Remember that one defensive option that got them away, or one misinput that they, may or may not have misclicked on, and then go from there. And Mind able to make the adjustment, cover that up this time, and get that really 0 to death, right? They took 54, sure, but the moment that Rito got touched, they did not get the opportunity to land another single hit. They were defense the rest of that combo, and they could not get out of it. Now the emphasis is on Sacramento State here. Where do you go in the lineup from here? From what we've seen, they got 3 players remaining. This is not the easiest thing to counterpick.
Yeah, they're going to have a good idea. Who is the best against Jamar? Because I don't feel like Jamar is the play right here. After what happened last time, as much as Jamar might want the salty run back, you know which players have experience against Luigi. You would rather have that as opposed to sending Jamar in for a run back, but we'll see what the decision making is like. It is going to be Sora coming in to contest Mind's Luigi.
Interesting pick here. Sora, again, we've talked about him as the type of X factor for Sac State. He's been very, very clean so far in pool play and in bracket play, taking numerous stocks per team. It was only last game or last series that he really took less than 4 all tournament long. And now he's got to see how many he can steal away from Mind here. He's got the counter pick, and he's on the small battlefield, and he's got an early percent lead so far. But Luigi, all they need is that one opening, that one grab. They're starting to land some aerials here. Sora's off stage. They get Zared once more, and there it is, the follow-up. Do they have the distance on the side B? No, they don't! They don't have enough push, and Mind is the first to strike.
And you saw Sora was eager to equalize, but didn't quite have the ability to execute the stock right then and there. Goes for a counter, and that's an invitation if Mind's ever seen one. They get the up B off the top, and Sora's already almost obliterated.
Mind is cooking right now. They take the one opportunity they get, and they do not mess up. Trade comes through, up air will land. Sora, Thunder will connect. Going off stage, they go for the freeze, they go for the back air. The up B won't do the trick quite yet. Mind is able to survive. Another side B comes through, but it's covered by the Thunder. Still, Mind looking to survive here. Another side B, no misfire, and it will eventually be caught out by the up B. That's Mind's first stock gone, and Sora's already on their last.
Sora playing very cautiously near this ledge, knowing that if they can keep a distance between them and Mind, it's good, but up tilt, up air, already at 69%, and it just keeps climbing 10% off of that up air, as this is looking so dire right now. Soy, an up tilt, an anti-air. Can Sora find a way to keep the juggle going? It's just too threatening at times. You don't want to go all the way up, because you could get caught in that cyclone, but if you don't do anything, you're going to get caught regardless.
Another up B. Good tech here by Mind to make sure the situation doesn't get reversed upon themselves. Dash attack away. Should be able to grab this ledge with invincibility. Another Thunder, but this is a ledge re-grab. Grabbing that ledge is not safe. They go in for the side B. No punish, though. Mind was looking for the roll read potentially back out towards the stage, but the Tornado's going to catch Sora jumping. It's not enough to take the stock quite yet, though. Sora forced to recover low once more. They'll be able to side B back to the ledge. Thunder not going to be able to land. The Windbox pushing him away. Side B fights through. They don't get the read on the up smash, but the up B, not enough in the tank to take the stock quite yet. Mind, the DI, impeccable right now. 135 here. And this Tornado, very stale, but still very strong. There's no clean answers for Sora, and eventually they're going to get caught by the Windbox. Mind pulls them in and takes them down. Sora is out for Sacramento State, and UC Riverside have a 2-stock lead.
And this is where we might see the Sac State dream die. UC Riverside have just eliminated the player we have spent more or less all day hyping up. Sora looked like they had a really strong start in the beginning, but a reversal on an edge guard, and then all of a sudden Sora is just gone. That right there shows Mind's awareness that in any situation, no matter if they are being edge guarded, if they are being comboed, they're always thinking, how can I push this in my favor? And that trait right there is what gave them the ability to find the opportunities to take down Sora with 2 stocks.
2 whole stocks. The fact that the up B and the edge guard did not kill for so long. It took so much for Sora just to get Mind up to those kill percentages. And Sora, who has been so clean at confirming stocks, at finding ways to get kills, could not take down that second stock of Mind. And now all of a sudden, your stock count 6 to 8 right now. And for Mind, having those 2 stocks, vital, critical. I mean, the fact that they have been able to find so many of these low percent combos, right? Getting these Zares into another grab, and all of a sudden, here comes that potential 0 to death. Here comes the potential reads. Even at the high percents, they're mixing things up. Instead of going for down throw Tornado, they're going for down throw back air, pushing them out towards the outside of the stage. And we're seeing University of Sac State lock in Schleim as their 3rd member here. The Villager stepping in. That passive play, will it be enough to bring things back within striking distance for the Hornets?
As close as it was in the previous match, might have been a wrong stage selection right here, but regardless, I feel like Schleim might have been the pick from the beginning. Like, now that I think more about it, if we do somehow manage to get to a 3rd crew battle, I want to see Schleim as the counter pick for mine, because, well, Luigi historically does not do well against zoners. He just doesn't. I mean, DeBuzz nigh undefeated against Luigi because DeBuzz understands that if you stay out of the Zair range, if you stay at the very edge of the fireball range, and you have options such as, let's say, a slingshot, you're not gonna have any ability to be comboed by that Luigi. Schleim managed to avoid getting hit by Mind for what, like 40 seconds at a time? And sure, those few hits do count for a lot, but regardless, I feel like Schleim has a much more economical chance to take down Mind.
We'll have to see if it's enough here. 2 stocks of Mind is always threatening. Any Luigi player knows that. Mind now on Hollow Bastion this time around will drop that extra stock. So now here we go. 3-2 the stock count. Can Schleim control this pace? Oh no, they get grabbed early though. This is Nair down air territory, and they're able to hold out just enough to get out of that combo. Mind looking for more pressure here on this platform. They're able to chip away at Schleim's stock. 80% now to Mind, still not even at double digits. The chase down of Mind, so aggressive, and they're gonna get the stock. No, not quite yet. It was so close to killing. They will find the back air though, caught the villager jumping, and all of a sudden, these two are tied in stocks.
Neck and neck right now, tech chase, but Schleim is too busy putting out the Lloyd Rocket to catch it, and now gets a grab at 0, but Mind was ready for Schleim to air dodge away. This time they seem to be just content to just get one aerial off of their down throw. Uncharacteristic, however, I don't really mind it when you've gotten 64% off of this strategy, but now forward tilt. Get anything else? Air dodges through the tree.
Good Nair to get in. And Nair up B outright. I thought the tornado was going to come through again, but instead, it's just the up B, the fire punch. And Mind has put Schleim to their last stock here. And this is a bad spot for the Hornets to be in. They're not going to find a way to take this stock quite yet. Mind is only at 100% here. Forward airs on this tree. They don't care about this blockage in front of the ledge. They are getting aggressive, continuing to roll in on Schleim. 72% now on this villager. They don't find the grab quite yet. Another Nair will land, and Mind has got all the agency of the world right now. They're going to find the back air as well. You can't hold out. You can't hold in. You got nowhere to run to, and Mind has put Sacramento State to their last member.
Mind has come out as the star player against Sacramento State. Between taking out Jamar, taking out Sora, and now against Schleim, the player who ended their run in the previous crew battle, they've taken down Schleim to dropping nothing. Now Jamar, a player who more or less, if not for a very lucky misfire, got 3-stocked. You've got to not only take down Mind, but take down everyone else. Now, if any character, if any player was going to do this on the side of Sacramento State, I feel like Jamar is the one to do it, but you've got to get through Mind first. You've got to get through this obstacle that took you down first, and we'll see how that managed to happen, or if UC Riverside will qualify for the finals in Arlington, Texas.
It also says something too, or like what we said, you know, Mind and Jamar already played once, and Mind got the better of Jamar in the Ditto. Mind was the counter pick to Jamar in that opening series. And the fact that they've held Jamar back here, they led with Rito. They tried the Sora counter pick. They tried to counter pick with Schleim. They have been holding back this Luigi Ditto. Jamar's got to come up with something. I think the fact that Jamar likes to go for early kills does bode well for them, but they have to hold that playstyle back here because it did not work the last time they played against Mind. They weren't able to find those early openings. Mind is aware of everything that this character likes to do. Those early tricks won't work against a player who also mains this character. It's going to have to come up to the switch up here from Jamar. What do they have? What is their counter pick? What is their change up? What is their curveball in this situation? That is everything that's going to make the difference here. Riverside, 3 stocks separate them from a chance of going to Texas. Can they take down Jamar here? It's up to Mind to do so with 2 stocks in the tank.
And Jamar immediately varies the rhythm by not going for a grab at all, knowing that they well, that's probably what Mind wants, and they do not want to give it to them. Catches them with a forward tilt as well. Goes off stage to interrupt the recovery, but a tech right there puts Mind in advantage, but not for long. Jamar keeps the pressure up. If they're able to do that for the rest of the game, this is exactly what we need to be seeing for Jamar to make a miracle comeback.
Dash attack will land, and Mind is very much so at kill percentage here. He's not even going to tempt fate by trying to edgeguard that recovery. The tornado pulled him in on the fireball, and Mind still somehow ready for it. 57% here. Low recovery from Mind, not going to be tested. Well, Mind was going for the forward air to try and knock him into the stage, but still could not find it. On the ledge once more. Not able to really challenge from that angle. Tornado does not find the mark. Back air comes through. Mind gets another grab. Holds back on the aerials here. Patience from Mind here. The presence of Mind to recognize these defensive options. Now goes for it, but he does not read Jamar's DI. 161 here on Mind's second stock. Will die to this tornado though. Jamar covering everything from the ledge. So Mind down to 1 stock. They get a grab. Forward air this time though. Could not find a way to
Can they get away?
Jamar. Not able to get the full combo extension of it though, and the dash attack will knock Mind away.
Yeah, back air right here, 60% already. A situation at the ledge. Both of them have the tools to kill each other right here and now, but they hit them out of the tornado, and now they interrupt the recovery as well. Interrupted again, needs to resort to a second missile, but they fall right into Mind. Jamar survives, still on that first stock. If they're able to live here and now, they need a misfire. And they can get back without a misfire, but not this time, not if the down air is there.
Well played by Mind on that edge guard, securing that stock. Tornado, not gonna be able to kill quite yet. Needs a bit more percent. This should be enough, and the next tornado will likely do the trick. Down smash, not gonna be able to do the trick though. 0%, a grab landed, down air, he's able to air dodge away. Oh, and his jump gets caught! What an up air by Mind! Catching Jamar! And all of a sudden, Sacramento State are on their last stock. He gets grabbed as well. Down air, nair, down air, nair. Goes for the up air, into the back air as well. Does not opt to go for the full extension. Doesn't go for that up B. Mind's at 144 now. Side B on the shield. He'll be able to grab the ledge as well. Nair into up air as well. Chipping away at Jamar's stock. This is dangerously close now. Ton of rage on both of these players. Next strong hit should really do it for either one. 97 to Jamar. Dash attack. Won't be able to do the trick. Mind's at 170% right now. Side B clanking. Able to grab the ledge, but only for a moment. Misfire will help them get back to the stage. Tornado gets beat out by Jamar's. The hitbox couldn't last long enough, and Sac State stays alive.
Very, very scary right there. Trading stock for stock, but Jamar has already shown improvement from the first crew battle. But you needed more than an improvement. You needed a masterclass right there, and 1 stock against UC Riverside, who are currently undefeated. 6 stocks remain. Now, if any player could possibly do this, it would be Jamar. Why? Because most characters do not have a good answer to getting grabbed at 0. They have ways to keep Jamar away. They have ways to make it uncomfortable to throw out a grab. But at the end of the day, they do not have a perfect answer. That is Jamar's win condition. The fact that they can feasibly kill anyone, but as soon as they're caught in a long, drawn-out neutral, I don't really see how Jamar finds an answer. So I'm curious to see who's going to come out next. I feel like the main obstacle here is going to be Zane. What do you do against that Wii Fit trainer?
Zane has been so good at, every stage of the game really so far for this tournament, and the fact that it's Wii Fit, right, who can play from a distance, who can go off stage for so long, get that deep breathing online, just do so much damage, potentially chipping away. But there have been moments where we've seen Zane get a little overly aggressive, just continuing to shield that nair. Maybe not as clean of an option against Jamar, but also, like we've mentioned, UC Riverside, a full roster of players to go through, but they're going to lock in the pit this time around to try and lock things up. Saru is stepping in. They were able to shut down, I believe it was George Fox, and lock them out of playoffs because of Saru's performance. They were able to shut down Weber State earlier. Can they end the run for Sac State here in Grand Finals? The pit is coming through against Jamar's final stop.
Scary Soy. It's very scary. Saru has this in the bag, and that's the most dangerous thing you can think. Because if you think you're safe against Jamar, they will show you the opposite. So Saru is giving a lot of respect to all these options as they're able to just tough their way through that low percent hit, as Saru is just kind of zoning Jamar out right now.
Early up B. Gonna land an up air as well. Dangerous spot right now. Another forward smash gonna land here. And I feel like both players playing so tense, knowing that this stock means everything. But they're gonna land an up B. It's not gonna take the stock quite yet. Too low of a percent.
Right there. Saru's trying to get back, but it's very difficult. They understand the threat range of Jamar, and they get around it. They navigate through, shield the Cyclone, and now it's them on the ledge trapping situation. Going for those arrows. Jamar weaves through them, but a down air actually sends Jamar up, but it's going to be the side B to finish it off. With 6 stocks still in the bank, that will be UC Riverside winning the crew battle, winning the grand finals, and they are your champions who will be going to CECC in Arlington, Texas in May.
What a turn of events that was. Jamar tried to play so patient in those final moments, but you knew the minute that he got sent off stage, Saru had this on lock. The arrows, even from pit to dark pit, those arrow snipes can be so deadly, especially against a recovery like Luigi's that is so dependent on that horizontal play to come through, on them not getting red. And you thought maybe for a second when that down air didn't spike and it sent him back up on towards the stage, you thought maybe Jamar had a chance, but no, ledge trump comes through. Jamar was not ready for it, and the quick recognition of Saru to then immediately side B, recognizing that that side B would cover the fact that Jamar had to re-grab the ledge, that it would still catch him despite it being just his fingertips, and the knockback of that move, crazy strong at those high percents. Well done by Saru, and like you said, the Riverside Highlanders, they win the grand finals, and they are going to be booking their ticket to the championship in Arlington, Texas.
And it feels like UC Riverside just keeps getting better. Didn't drop a crew battle throughout this entire tournament, and yet they just kept improving. They went to last stock against Sac State in the beginning, and then they were able to finish them off a little earlier, and then they were able to finish them off even earlier with 6 stocks remaining after this grand finals. Every single time, they just came more and more prepared, and it was fascinating to see. I'm curious how they managed to do this. They're a very chill team, very mellow, and I'm excited to talk to them about how they got ready for this grand finals in just a little bit. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we return, we will be back with an interview with UC Riverside.
How are we doing, Polly?
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the ECAC Top Plays of the Week. I am Septilance, and I'm super excited to walk through these with you so you can see all of the great moments we are getting out of collegiate esports. One of my favorite things about these seasons is as they go on, as the years continue to pass, the skill ceiling just gets higher and higher, and the teams get better and better. Starting things off in week 1 and 2, these teams came out the gate swinging. Let's take a look at what they were ready to bring out in these early weeks. Valorant is a game all about risk versus reward, and Sin from NYIT wanted to show us just how much he was willing to risk to get that great reward of a round win.
Sort of forced to pop off, maybe get a little bit more sniper play, but these direct tight angles make it tough. You have Axeris that actually gets a wallbang headshot onto Prime. Oh, that timing on the paranoia works so well.
Yo, give it up for the util, bro. Sin's gonna pick up 3 into the site. It's a lurk on its way from the chamber, but unless you're gonna spam through this box, you're not getting anything done, and Panda won't even let him get that far.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a game that can be decided in milliseconds, and Waka, one of the best players from SUNY Canton A Squad, wanted to show us just what they can do with only a second and a single stock on the board.
Cena, sledge option going to be charging forward smash, going a little early. They're not quite getting what you want. Drop shield after first hit of pick, getting hit by the kick. High percent. There is the stun into Claw. That clock has been charged for a lot longer. Oh my goodness, that's a forwarder into stage with the stage spike and then upping immediately after. What a sick.
1 point in Rocket League can never make a team feel comfortable, but Driftsy wanted to show us that not only was he going to pick the pace up, but he wasn't going to let his team down.
Defensive test with flying colors, though they couldn't get out, and that is the important part at the moment. Clears a must for UA, and it's just not in the cards at the moment.
Dripsy! Dripsy connects off the backboard! What a shot! I watched it unfold slowly. You stopped speaking at just the right moment.
Valorant is often called a team-based shooter, but sometimes it can't just be about the team. Sometimes you gotta have those hero plays. Spec wanted to spray and pray and was actually able to save the day for SVSU, tying up the series 7-7.
Hard B push here, 2 Omen smokes coming out. 1, oh, Spec
Oh
just
my
finds 3.
What?
Spraying through the smoke? Oh, what, Spec? That's not legal, man. That's not legal. This is match day 2 of the ECAC League. You can't be doing that right now. Spec just goes with the call.
Here in this clip, Fanshawe finds themselves with their backs against the wall, 20 seconds left on the clock, and they're desperate to take down Wake Forest. They don't have anything to get through this team, they don't have any weapons on the field, but with Jackie Moon in the wings, at least they had a sniper.
Apparently. Guys gonna believe all the shots. Oh, a sniper! Jackie Moon from about midway through. What a shot right here from Jackie.
Wow, good eye sniper. Yes, sir. Jackie Moon puts us on the right side. A little bit more to the left. This one would have been...
Here in this clip, we're going to get a great moment from a Pac-Man, and as a Pac-Man player, I was super excited to see it. We're going to hear a lot of praise from our commentators giving Mosey those compliments of choosing Snake against Pac-Man, a great counter pick. They were super excited to see a Snake on the field, but even without their blessing, Trollery does not yield.
Approach, but like you said, he's trying to play this safe because losing his stock right now for Concord would be really bad, and, well, a little bit of commentator's curse there. We kind of willed that one into existence. Oh, man. Oh my goodness! What?
Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Septilence, how could that be all we got from weeks number 1 and 2? Please tell me there's more. If you like what you saw, you've got to go check out ECAC Esports on all social media platforms. Please see what they're bringing to the table. It is great collegiate esports week after week. And on the bright side, folks, this is just the beginning. We've got the whole rest of what is guaranteed to be a great season ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining me for this recap, and I'll see you on the next one.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esport Commissioners Cup. I am Septilence, and I get a really neat opportunity here. We get to interview Burns from E United. Burns, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. We're on day 2 of the event. It's been a fantastic one. I ran into you yesterday, but we were running around like chickens with our heads off, and it has been, I mean, how has your time been here? What has this event kind of been like?
Yeah, it's great. I just love being in the passion pit, seeing all the college kids go at it. Reminds me of like an old school MLG event almost, but being like in the epicenter of the passion pit, seeing Rocket League, Valorant, Overwatch, and Smash, just it's amazing to see all of these schools compete against each other and get a shot to play on this main stage.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And tell us a little bit about kind of what is E United, right? Because we know that you're here, we know you're here to represent them, but for the people that don't know, what is E United?
Yeah, E United was founded in 2016. We're a professional esports organization. We've been in League of Legends, Overwatch, all the way to Battle Right, I think it was called back in the day. Right now in 2022, we are in Gears of War, Halo, Rocket League, PUBG, and announcing a new title tomorrow. I know, get the small intel here. So it's a lot of fun. I went pro in Call of Duty when I was younger. I ended up playing my last event under E United, switched in 2016, and I've been the GM ever since. So it's a true blessing to be able to stay with an organization for as long as I have, and we love giving back to the collegiate community. I actually graduated from Full Sail in 2013.
I was a little confused about the jersey. I was a little...
Yeah, so the Full Sail boys are out of the tournament, unfortunately, but I decided I would rep them today in their honor. Yeah, it's just great. I love working with younger individuals who are trying to find their path in esports, and these college kids are really showing what they're all about.
Yeah, so to be kind of an ex-pro player, where a collegiate scene at the time didn't exist, especially not to the scale right now, what is it like to see such high levels of success, such high levels of support for something that you weren't able to kind of get as much support in at the time, something that was looked down on a lot more?
Yeah, I'm extremely jealous. That's all I can say. Full Sail started their program in 2017. When I was there in 2011 and 12, it was just a bunch of nerds running around, just creating their own clubs. I was still striving to go pro, but now you have these opportunities to play on main stage, play in front of thousands of people. We just had locals back in the day. You would show up and play for like $200, $100. It was like lunch money.
Right.
Now these kids are playing for scholarships. They're playing for fame. They could pop off here and end up getting a sponsor for $10,000 or $20,000 from somebody.
Right.
So the opportunities are just endless at the moment, and I think it's just great that you basically can prove yourself and make anything happen right now.
It's instead of kind of what you had gone through, being in college and also trying to go pro, these kids can try to go pro while being in college. It's hand in hand instead of those two kind of battling kind of matchups. So if somebody's trying to go pro, right, they're like, Burns, I want to be you one day. I want to be the GM of E United one day. What is that first step to really take it from a hobby to a passion, to a job?
Yeah, I think I've told this story a lot, but it's really, I thought about going pro every night before I went to bed.
Right.
Like, I lived and breathed Call of Duty for years. It was my life. I had to skip dinner sometimes. I had to skip family functions, and my family didn't really understand, but it was what I wanted to do, and it all worked out. But at the end of the day, you always need to kind of be organized. You have to have the ability to not put all of your eggs in one basket. So even though it worked out for me, there are so many opportunities in esports. There's being a caster or interviewing people. There's working in production. There's helping people get waters. Like, literally, there are so many opportunities. So, this crowd's awesome.
They're going crazy, dude. They stayed on their last life right now.
Off subject, Smash, regardless if it's middle school, high school, college, it pops off all the time. I love it.
Well, Burns, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, guys.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to ECAC Top Plays of the Week. I am Septilence, and let me tell you what, right away, if you thought last week's clips were great from weeks 1 and 2, your minds are going to be blown here in week number 3. Let's take a look at what these players brought to the table this week.
Welcome back, everybody, to CECC West. We are here in the aftermath with UC Riverside, our champion, specifically Mind, who went on, frankly, an outrageous run to cap off this event. Mind, how you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm feeling really good, especially after our team just won now. It's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah?
Feeling pretty good. How about yourself?
Hey, we're doing fantastic after watching that performance, and I've got to ask, after we heard yesterday, Empty had told us that Jamar, the Luigi, was one of the main people that you all had your eyes on, that you were kind of surprised by when you played them the first time. Obviously, you came prepared this time, so can I ask what happened between these 2 days?
I think between yesterday and today, I think the big thing I had to keep in mind was I need to play more disciplined and kind of restrain myself from wanting to come at them more being patient and just waiting a little second. Because not even just Jamar, I think Schleim, their villager player, was also another player that like forced us to play a lot slower. But both of them were great, and we both between yesterday and today was more so keeping that good mindset of like stay calm and don't get impatient.
Yeah, fair enough, and it worked out. Coming into Championship Sunday here, you had that close battle against Weber State to kind of warm up yourself for grand finals. Can you tell us about the journey here on today? How you feel about how you've been playing in particular? Because obviously the stats have shown that you've been playing great so far.
I think from the start, I think we all hopped in a call together. We're not all together. We're all at our homes, but we all hopped in a call together, just started warming up. And I don't think starting it off, I don't think we were fully into it yet. So we started off a little rough. We cut it kind of close, but getting into the second one and everyone after that, I think we were all like a lot more into it, a lot more ready to fight.
Yeah, you evidently were very ready after, well, everything, especially that second crew battle. So I gotta ask, among these two crew battles against Sac State we just saw on stream, was there one moment in particular that you were really, really proud of? You're like, I can't believe I just hit this.
I think the one clip that I hit on the Bowser player, where I did like neutral air into downer, up B. It doesn't happen very often, but every time I do land there, I'm like, oh yeah, like it's always a great feeling.
That was quite a show.
that was awesome to see, and because of everyone's performance this week, UCR, you guys are grand final champions, and you've won the Western Regional Qualifier. What does this win mean to you to have the opportunity to go play in the CECC Finals in Arlington, Texas?
It's honestly great. As a player, I've always wanted to travel more. I've kind of just been stuck in California because I used to live in the Bay, and now I'm in SoCal for school. And I've always just wanted to leave and explore more places. And I think Smash can enable not only me to do that, but the rest of the team. And I'm sure like they're all really excited for this opportunity to be able to go to Texas. Like that's awesome.
May I ask if you are yet aware of what other teams have qualified, or even just what the other coast collegiate scene looks like?
I'm not aware of what other teams have qualified, but I know in the Northeast, I know there's really strong. I don't know any specific teams, but I know generally like there's really strong players throughout. Yeah. I know in Texas there's great players like Army Ollie, there's Beastly, and like a bunch of people at like University of Texas, Dallas, and Austin, places like there. I know there's like really strong hitters, especially like outside of the West region.
Yeah, I do believe UT Arlington has qualified as well, so you will get to run it against them, and that I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what you can put up for that.
It'll be a lot of fun to see. I guess looking forward for you guys for your future competitions. Is there anything that you think this team needs to work on and solidify moving forward into that finals round or the LAN in Arlington?
I think the main thing we're gonna have to work on is keeping a good mental, because I think sometimes we can like going back to what I said earlier, I think we can sort of like get a little tilted or get a little impatient, and it can start to affect our play a lot, and also like that leaks into team morale as well. So making sure having that cool mental, I think mental is everything in this game. I really do. So making sure that we're playing together well as a team, and like making sure like we have good planning, I think that's really gonna be what takes us far.
In general, how has the experience of playing on a team for the first time been? Because you told us before the stream started, you have only been on this team for 5 months.
It's been a lot of fun. I've loved everyone I've met on the team, from other new players that just started to the people that have been here since the beginning that are like now seniors and are graduating soon. Like I've loved everyone I've met on the team. Zane he's a third year, but like he just recently transferred here, and it's like just another great person we could have on the team. Like it's so much fun being able to have like a group, especially when Smash is usually considered like a 1-versus-1 type of thing. Having a crew battle format makes it so much more enjoyable.
The crew battle, a lot of fun, and you get to see so many different players. And we talked about it, how UCR has such a wide pool of talent. Is there anyone that you're kind of excited to see get more and more time, possibly in the spotlight here at the CECC?
Oh, absolutely. I think they weren't able to play this weekend, but I think Tiny Toasters, Alex, I think he's a really great Mario player. He doesn't really come out too much, but he's probably the best player on the team. There's Retro Picks, who plays Pichu, amazing. There's a lot of like players that didn't even play this weekend that I think are amazing and have so much potential.
And I'm really excited to see that. You already did a little bit of shouting out, but one last time, is there anyone you want to shout out before we wrap up this stream?
I would like to shout out Logan Empty, coach of the team. He's the one who basically like puts all this together, like lets this happen. He's the one who reached out to me when I first started going here to like look into like being a part of the team and everything. So shout outs to him. Love that guy.
Awesome. We'd love to hear it. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Mind, and congratulations on winning the grand final of the West Regional for CECC. And you guys are qualified for that LAN in Arlington in the summer. Congrats once again, and thank you so much for joining us for this interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
What a day it's been, Miles. I mean, this bracket run, even the pool stage was so much fun. It really truly is the wild, wild west between these schools. And it ends up being UC Riverside taking it in grand finals. Any kind of final thoughts to help us wrap up the day?
Just that these teams all throughout have shown that they have what it takes to put in work here, and they're only going to get better. That's the thing that I know in my heart. Every time we get to see these teams come and play against people from other regions, it just gets better. The quality of the gameplay, the quality of the teamwork, the quality of the friendships forged, they always get better at these big come together events, and I can't wait for these finals in Arlington, Texas.
Those finals are going to be in the summer, but we are going to shift over to Esports U, where there's even more action happening at this Boise LAN. Valorant is up next, but that's it here for us at SSBU. Thank you to everybody at Esports U, and we'll see you later for more SSBU action.
Yeah. Another good shot. Pancake with that shot.
Oh, get your syrup and your chocolate chips out, because this pancake is looking tasty.
With only 60 seconds on the clock, the University of Kentucky was feeling great. They'd already won a fight, Midtown was within their grasp as they only needed to secure one more fight win to full hold Bryant University. But Klaus knew, sometimes it's not just about winning. Sometimes it's about sending a message.
Okay, they've got to move. There's the initial hack. Klaus down like the cat among the pigeons. And there's not a lot of coming back from that one. The fun, it's...
RPI found themselves with their backs against the wall on Bind. They were 2 round losses away from losing the map and the series being tied up 1-1, going all the way to map number 3. They needed a hero. They needed somebody to guide them to the promised land, and it was Moses with a 3-piece that secured the deal and won them their 9th round.
The team, Southern Arkansas, will make it free and clear, taking on the site, unless Moses able to lock it down with a 3K. It's all up to the singular Briani, who's nowhere to be found.
That must have been, you just walked through.
CU did such a good job this week that we want to highlight them not once, but twice. This time the attention pulling over to Lyric, who gives us a great aerial coast-to-coast play and seals the deal with what looks like a 0-degree goal to put CU just 1 point further in the lead.
Oh, that was beautiful. Beautiful aerial goal.
Could have said it better myself. Look at how Lyric creates space. And the accuracy. Does it get any better than that?
It really doesn't.
For this next clip, we're jumping over to a Smash crew battle where things are looking good. All three players alive on both sides, and Bounce with 3 stocks against their opponent, Sam Kalta. Bounce finds an amazing snipe off stage to guarantee Sam's first stock be taken off the board, putting Bounce's team in the lead.
Unlike
but that nice neutral B off
beautiful
stage.
snipe. You love to see that one.
Week number 3 was the week of Rocket League, the week of CU in particular. Lyric, just when you think this team can't come out any stronger, finds a 3-second goal against CMCC that just showed the dominance CU was willing to come out with here in week 3.
We are 3
Oh my god.
seconds into game
You don't get much
number
better
2.
than that. That was awesome.
Oh man, that was beautiful. Ceramics, pedal to the metal right there. Foot on the gas pedal.
With a 1-round lead on Ascent, Suni Canton was feeling a little bit shaky, and it was up to Lil J to make some big moves.
You got dash. Not gonna go for it. We'll get all the way out of that one and fake the dash away so they know about him close. Well, the Roomba will give it away. Let's tuck the nade though, so definitely gonna stay alive.
Party's
Okay.
over.
Good. All right.
Spike down B.
Jinx, bro. Yummy a soda now.
Love that.
Oh, the timing.
I like the gust.
One enemy remaining.
Never mind.
Ace.
Fantastic Lil J ace on its way. Happy to have it. 5-3. Sunny Canton.
Things were looking bleak for the University of Kentucky on the 5th and final map, but the momentum started to shift when Klaus decided the chaos needed to end a little quicker.
Who just won't be able to survive on the point all that long. Nurik finds Rimru. High noon for 3 for Klaus at the last possible second to secure a cap and buy them a stay of execution.
And with that, folks, ECAC highlights of Week 3 have come to a close. Let me tell you, it's been a pleasure getting to reminisce on all of these fantastic moments with you. Check your posture, drink some water, don't forget to love each other, and we'll see you next time.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's
gonna
jumped into
it.
Corner judges go for 1, 2, dip. He needs more. And
they're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. Collins walks it in.
Toy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.